Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into the CENC Southeast Invitational. This is our virtual qualifier. My name is Lars Newt. I'm going to be bringing you the action here with Billy, Chef Billy. Billy, right, like how I like to start every single cast. Thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and/or dreams.
Well, I hope we have some competitive matches. That's the first thing out the gate. Hoping that we don't have some turtle shell going on. As I've been seeing across some collegiate events here recently, a lot more defensive mindedness going on in the back third, rather than trying to spring your what you would generally consider a forward. They're trying to possess a little bit too much out of the back as well. I want to see some high flying aerial acrobatics going on. Instead of trying to do this little worm burner action going on with the ball on the ground. So, I want to see the aggression straight out the gate. I want to see, cross passes. I want to see some 50-50 challenges above the midfield line, all the way up on the ceiling, because, it's been kind of snooze fest here lately. And hopefully these qualifiers here will show who wants to get to this LAN later on in the year.
Well, and something to note about this is the winner is going to get $1,000 in the second place and qualify for that LAN, and the second place of $500 themselves. So it'd be very interesting to see if that kind of adds to that level of aggression. I know that these players, there's plenty of talent here. There's a lot of overlap between the collegiate scene and the professional scene. A lot of the players are in that same boat. And I think we even have teams here tonight that are playing for the regionals right now at the RLCS level. So expect some of that high flying action. Right off the bat, we have USF versus Auburn. This should be a really interesting matchup. These are some of those players that are playing at that very, very high level of Rocket League. And I think the only thing we're going to have left to do is to put the players in the match and see, with 5 minutes on the clock, who's going to come out a victor. This is a single elimination best of 5. So it is do or die here in our round of 16.
Yeah, we just need to see, who is going to take the reins and just go ahead and drive the tempo forward. And it's all going to be about how they get their rotation set up in the beginning. So, for USF, get a bigger match going on.
Right off the bat, USF is going to find themselves down a goal as Auburn will take advantage of a quick kickoff here. Auburn represented by Bro Turkey, 5'6", Broco versus USF's Banger, Fiend, and Sean.
That was filthiness off the kickoff there, and a beautiful redirect in, finding joy in the back of the net. So maybe a little early in-game nerves for the University of South Florida. We'll see if the Tigers of Auburn can press their advantage.
Well, a quick attack back the other way. South Florida putting a shot on net. This one returned down to the blue end of the field. Playing through the corner is Fiend, stuffed by Bro Turkey. You asked for some of those high 50s, high in the corner. Seeing that happening already. Good amount of aggression. There's a shot towards the net. Bro Turkey taking that one off the back wall. That's something else I really like to see, is active defense on the back wall. Don't allow your opponents to take advantage of that to set up passes into the mid.
Woo-hoo! Good amount of physicality coming out here in the early stages too as well, Lars. So, that's what I'm looking for. How are you going to set the tempo? How are you going to set these pinch opportunities up into the finding corners?
Love to see that physicality. A lot of people complain about demos, but hey, if you're not getting demos, you're doing the game wrong. It's such an awesome way to disrupt your opponent's rotations and find ways to open up the front of the net. Speaking of which, Fizik's going to take advantage and extend that lead to 2.
I love to see it. You love to see it. And this is all set up by that physicality and not giving up on the play. That's another thing that I've been seeing here trending lately, is the fact that we'll see the defending player kind of, play passive in front of their goal, not wanting to give up a little bit of a play. Well, an aggressive attacker will just go past them and get the player onto their teammate's hood.
See the attack and re-attack. Now, speaking of attack, Sean off the wall to pass to Fiend. A great stop by Bro Turkey. Bro Turkey showing up huge in the defensive end so far. Now a pass up. That's going to be down to center. There's no one there from Auburn to finish it off. Fizik's looking to clean up, but Fiend already has the clear downfield through the corner into the front of the net. Touched off that back wall again. That very proactive at defense out of Auburn, doing an excellent job. Ooh, I was going to say do an excellent job of preventing real threats, but that one a little too close for comfort, off the post and back out.
Oh, my word. And we're seeing these high 50-50s going on. And right now, looking at the back and forth nature of this match, it's a 2-0 lead for Auburn right now, but USF is definitely not out of this. I think they just need to incorporate a little bit more of the bumps, a little bit more of these aerial 50-50 challenges, and then that final touch right in front of the net to get their joy onto their teammate. Oof! Almost went in there for them.
Love to see them making those high attempts across the top of the net. Very difficult to defend, and a good spacing to get not too far. It's easy to save, but that's a bold shot back towards their own net, that back pass. And they're continuing to try to control in the defensive end here, and it's a little dangerous. They're putting a lot of these touches into the slot, and they need to be careful about that, as USF isn't there to push. They aren't there to punish, trying to be a little too passive in the rotations. I'd like to see a little bit more of that aggression you've been asking for on the offensive side of the ball for USF.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a little bit of a touch, too. I think it's a touch. That's a great little lob over the third man, and Fiend getting the joy on that. Look at this little touch from Banger.
I love the control from Banger coming upfield. Unfortunately, there was an opportunity to turn that one away for Auburn, but they don't find the touch. Fiend is there to punish them for it. Clearing with purpose. It's so critical. Too often you see teams, when they do get the ball in the defensive end, they're more than happy to just bang it away. Get upfield when you have space. Slow the ball down, get upfield with purpose, and have a plan coming up. Look for passes, look for control, and not just giving away possession of the ball to your opponents.
Oh, what a beautiful amount of air dribble right there by Banger. And then we're going to have a little setup off the backboard. The carom there. Feed. Woo.
Banger taking this one over the top. A game that started very much so in control for Auburn has now devolved into them turtling up, like you mentioned earlier, in the defensive end. It's like a pressure cooker. Sooner or later, this pressure building inside the Auburn end of the field, it has to burst. And it could go either way. I've seen plenty of times where teams get anxious. They get overly aggressive because they haven't scored, but they've been on the attack for so long. They get burned over the backside. But more often than not, that repeat pressure, that sustained pressure will yield goals in favor of the attacker.
Oh, important demo right there, but pressure not off the gate right now. Look at Sean trying to get back. Miss on the high aerial touch. Thank goodness he was back there to get the joy from that.
Banger under the back wall. Isaac's doing a great job of keeping that one clear, but the contain at midfield very strong. Fiend throwing that one down. Vroko, some of that kind of dump and chase I was talking about earlier that's so dangerous. They will get this one cleared downfield. The missed touch on the back wall opens up an opportunity. If Isaacs can't find the accuracy, Vroko with another shot, but there's not a lot of power. Here's an opportunity. That one's going to go wide of the net. Bro Turkey not able to take advantage of that slot read to take one away and continue to push that lead out further for Auburn.
Yeah, and I think, with 45 seconds left right here, a goal coming out of the USF side would be a dagger into the psyche of Auburn Tigers. They might get a last-second goal, though.
30 seconds remain. USF needs a goal to at least force the overtime here in game number 1 tonight. Fiend too quick to back away from this. Bro Turkey with boost and control has the flip reset. It's past one. Fiend on the back wall now. Getting this one downfield. A good pass out to Banger. Trying to get this one centered back up. Fiend looking for the defense. Or see that offensive pressure. Double demo, but they don't find the back of the net. It's off the crossbar. USF danger zone needs to keep this one up now. Puts another shot towards the net. Not a lot of power. That one's cleared to the midfield. Auburn will take game number 1.
On the edge of my seat from the get-go, Lars. And I tell you what, Auburn absolutely weathered a barrage coming in from USF. They should not have won that, honestly. I think it was just the failing of the last touch there from the USF squad that just let them down there in the final 45 seconds. But I tell you what, the aggression was up by USF. And I think that Auburn kind of played way too passively. They're trying to go for more of a little bit of a counter-attacking, counter-punching style going in there. Man, there was so much pressure in front of the Auburn net. I don't know how they weather that all the time, but, there's some great saves. There's a couple of epic saves as well.
7.
But, man, good Lord, it was beautiful.
Yeah. Let me vindicate what you're saying here. If you look just off to the side of my head here, you could see a heat map of player activity up and down the field. And notice the fact, I know you can't see the labels very well, but notice on the blue side, they're using the entire field. USF is just everywhere all the time. That's typically a team that's going to walk away with victories. And you can see where Auburn is very much so heavy defending the front of the net. They did a good job picking up 5 saves with Bro Turkey alone. The only thing I want to note about that is it's great. You can turtle up, you can get a lot of saves, but sooner or later, if you shoot enough, the ball's going to find the back of the net. I'd like to see them get that one clear and not spend so much time on the back foot.
I think that could also go into USF's issue as well. I think getting a little bit more physical on that third man, on that turtle line defense. If you get a bump in there when you're putting a shot on goal, you can't save it if you're not there.
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I love to see players, especially in threes, make your attack downfield and then rotate through the front of the net. And even if you don't make contact, you're drawing attention from the defenders away from the front of the net. There's that bump we were looking for from Vroko, but Fizek doesn't quite have the shot accuracy to take advantage of it. Now it'll allow USF to get this one downfield. They've done an excellent job with these kind of tic-tac plays upfield to get the ball clear. Fizek standing up tall to keep that shot from finding the back of the net.
I mean, that's the best Patrick Waugh impression I've seen in quite a few years. And I mean, just the beautiful tic-tac diagonals going on the right-hand wall here. But, you know, once again, final joy in that last touch just slipped out of the USF squad. So we'll see if they can clean this up just a little bit. It's just a couple of pixels.
So far, a very even matchup here in game number 2. Both teams spending about even amounts of time on either side of the ball. 40% of this game has been spent in the Auburn half of the field, and 60 so far, and climbing in the USF half as they finally get this ball clear. What was the longest attack we've seen yet? 19 seconds. Banger trying to put a banger on themselves. Another opportunity across the front of the net, but Vroko diving has the pass to Fizek, who doesn't get out quite in time to put a shot on net. This one continues to lurk in front of the USF net. They get another one of these clears down the side wall, but they're struggling to find that last bit of magic in front of the net to put an accurate shot on and really punish this Auburn team.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the willingness to engage aerially from USF. I mean, they're winning, you know, 7 out of 10 of these aerial battles going on. And we see it again, Sean with a beautiful kiss off the left-hand side.
Isaac's protecting the slot. Banger electing to slow this one down. Has boost, has wall, doesn't have the ball as Bro Turkey is quick to challenge. Fiend needs to get up to this one before any punishment. Banger is upfield looking for that leak out pass. Doesn't have the touch, but it's a beautiful look, and that's the kind of attack, that kind of aggression we need to see out of USF. They're going to hope to take away some opportunities here. One back up into the mid. Sean's up early. Like elects to leave that for Banger, who throws one over the top. It's awkward, and they will punish into the top shelf.
Unconventional shots sometimes yield the best results there, Lars, and this may have been a mistouch or a misplay, but Vroko did not have the boost to get up, and yeah, that's a beautiful goal. They get their first lead of the day as well.
Something that's always nice to see when you get to higher level Rocket League, players get very used to being very fast all the time. They start flying around the field, and honestly, the teams that can actually slow it down tend to have a lot of success because you start to get players baited into very quick challenges, and they're not used to just the pace of play of a slower pace. Banger here doing exactly that. Slows the ball down, throws a nice soft lob over top, and then jumps on it quickly. But now, speaking of quick, Fizek will quickly clear downfield and tie it up.
Ah, that's filthy. And I mean, Bro Turkey with a beautiful touch there, going in with a long dump, and then Fizek just finds the angle, going into the goal there, ties up the game just a little bit past halftime, Lars. And we got a banger going on here, not to mention the player on the field as well.
Love to see this nice, even matchup for our first matchup of the night. I think if we don't get a Game 5, then we may have been a little bit robbed. Hopefully, managed to hand the scripts off to the players so they have the opportunity to read those and know that this is going to Game 5 matchup. Sean is going to put that one down. Oh, it was great control. Banger attempting to finish it off, but it's a quick counterattack out of Auburn. Fiend is up, and Sean has the big clear downfield. Banger quick to challenge it, but it's just slightly out of reach. Fiend!
What?
Oh, what a great look, and there's another one and a diving save out of Bro Turkey. Oh, my goodness.
Ha! Okay, I mean, right place, right time. There's a little bit of a miracle angel, guardian angel here for Auburn right there, because that should have been at least a goal out of one of those two shots. But great positioning, great awareness of the field as well.
And that diving save. I thought for sure Auburn was about to be punished because it was a wonderful series of attacks out of USF. But as we've seen so far, Auburn has stood tall in that defensive end. They are capable of turtling up, and they're capable of getting downfield with these quick transitions. The dangerous combo to play against, but USF doing an excellent job of keeping this one even. That one's going to be off the crossbar. That was a great look. Oh, that was beautiful. It's just a little too high, and we continue to see 1-1 as we get down to the final 60 seconds.
Oh, but the pressure's building once again, and we're looking for a Karam off the back wall here. Can you get the pinch ability? No, you cannot. Look at Sean, though, following the play greatly.
52 seconds. Banger gets past one. Vroko attempts to clear, but Fiend is there. This one's dangerous for us in front of the net, but it's not going to come down in time for USF to pick up a goal. Now Sean through the corner. There's another pressure from Fiend. USF getting a little more ballsy on the attacks. They're getting a little more aggressive, and it's starting to show up. They just can't find that last final touch. Here's another opportunity. That's off the back wall, and Fiend gets dunked by Physix. It's not clear. The pressure continues to exist in the Auburn end of the field, and there's another big save out of Rocco. This Auburn defense is so strong. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, no.
What an unfortunate touch. Just bailed out by Banger.
Oh, no. It's last seconds right here. 6 seconds on the clock. Oh, my God. That ball was tantalizingly dangling in front of the net. No joy to them.
Oh, my goodness. Overtime in game number 2. A roller coaster of emotion down to the final seconds here of that game. Could have been anyone's, but neither team able to beat that last defender and pick up the victory. Now USF looking to pick up their first win of the night. Auburn looking to put themselves on the match point. Fiend into the offensive zone. Sean with another attack. Great control over top, but it's challenged early by Bro Turkey. Banger trying to control across. Getting great pressure out of these players. I love to see that there's no free lunch. There's no free touches. Anything that happens is very quickly challenged by their opponents.
Yeah, I mean, they're putting it all out on the line here, and I love to see it. I mean, never say never. What a little cross ball there. Did not see the joy of the switch to the field. Nice demo coming in from Banger, and there's the return favor from Broco. Open net, Banger getting back in time.
Offensive pressure for Auburn. That one's a good pass across, but Sean has great touchdown field, read by Banger, but they don't have the third to get that follow-up shot. Now Sean again puts that one on net. And Rocco will pick up another save. Pressure is so crushing right now from USF. So far, putting up 14 shots on net and forcing, 12 saves out of Auburn. That's a huge defensive stand. And, like I said in the intermission, I don't like to see a lot of saves because it means you're spending a lot of time on the back foot. But if any team can sit on the back foot and survive, clearly it's Auburn.
Well, I mean, they've shown right now that, kind of turtling up, keeping a double rotation in front of their net works. Because there's a couple of shots that should have seen joy. But, it's all going to take about getting that third person out and getting those aerial challenges. That was an important touch coming out of Auburn.
Yeah, I think the big thing for Auburn is the reason they're able to defend so effectively is they have a very fast, oh, that was a good look. They have a very fast, very aggressive defensive style. I'm enamored with the attempts we see out of Auburn, but they just can't find that last little bit of magic to tuck it home. What I was saying, though, is they have a very fast defensive rotation. Their players are always moving, but it's a very tight defensive rotation. So they're never far from the front of the net. It's tough to manage boost like that, but Auburn has done an excellent job of not letting themselves get starved out. That's where that physical play starts to be a factor. Here's an opportunity, touched away. If you can get those demos, then it disrupts a defensive style that heavily relies on rotations. Oh, there's the flip reset, but no joy. 2.5 minutes of overtime, and we still see these teams slugging it out.
I mean, it's going to come down to a wonky touch here or there. That could be it. What a beautiful touch by Broco. Last second to deny the shot on goal.
Sean looks to make a challenge, but it will be Banger at the midfield with a great 50 to keep this one in. This one far across Auburn's net. Nice touch out of the corner. Sean doesn't have the read and elects to take it to the wall instead. Has boost, has ball, has control. Passes this down to to Fiend. He elects to just bang it off the wall, and now we'll see this down into the USF end of the field.
I'm really looking for something unconventional out of either one of these squads. Maybe, a little bit of a hood flip, maybe an unexpected bump, something to change the tenor of what's going on the pitch right now, because it's just back and forth, taking your opportunities when you can, and I don't hate that. But what I really want to see is some kind of set play, maybe a double parry in. That could be the joy right there. No, Physix once again.
USF can't buy a goal. They've had so many opportunities, so much pressure on the net. And Auburn's had a couple of really good looks themselves, but it's a quantity difference right now. We're seeing plenty of quality out of both of these teams, but the quantity is so heavily favoring USF. It's a miracle they haven't scored yet.
This could be it right here. Almost had the stuff in. They had the speed, they had the momentum, but they just could not get it past that brick wall that is Rocco.
Right now, in game number 1, it was Bro Turkey. In game number 2, it's Vroko. That is so dominant in the defensive end, but banger on the feed from Fiend. Almost a full extra game of Rocket League in. Will tie the series. What a shot.
Oh, what a shot. What a setup. What a game number 2, Lars, as we see USF tie us up. So now it's going to become a very complicated best of 3. And I tell you what, I'm looking for, more of the same. I think that Auburn is going to have to abandon this turtle shell. I think they need to experiment a little bit more, maybe a couple of double commits to throw off of USF, because USF has just been able to rotate through the midfield and really just concentrate all of that shot-making offensive power in front of the Auburn net. And, we see the dump every once in a while, and it gives them a bit of a reset, but then the pressure's right back on. So I think, physicality's got to come up a little bit more from Auburn. I think USF have really figured out how they want to dictate the terms of this match. And getting a different style of touch, like we just saw the aerial slam down from Fiend in front of Banger. I think a high-speed pass from an aerial position, that could be the way to unlock this defense, because you can't rotate that fast, even if you got the boost.
I mean, the big issue is Auburn does such a good job of defending the front of the net. You need to see them get drawn away from the front of the net. And one of the ways you could do that, like you said, is throw these big high aerials up over the top and then quickly bring them back down. It's tough to shift focus that quickly. The other thing you could probably do is something I always like to recommend. It'll be tough against Auburn because they do a good job with back wall defense, but is to attack the back wall. It forces defenders to come away from the front of the net to defend the back wall, and opens up opportunities potentially going forward. But game number 3, 1-1 in the series between USF and, oh man, it doesn't feel like game 3. Oh, there's Fiend right off the bat. USF struggling to find goals in game 2, but not here.
Yeah, I mean, wonderful technical ability here from Sean. Just leaves the hanger there. Bit of a whiff there from Auburn, but I tell you what, still, I mean, that's a beautiful goal, beautifully constructed as well, and great final touch.
Quick lead for USF, and I think the first goal of both games was Auburn. So this is kind of different territory for them, and hopefully a bit of confidence going forward to allow them to pick up some more. But all 3 players in the corner have to be careful about that with your positioning. Banger over top, met by Bro Turkey. No one's getting free aerials. You love to see it, but there's a pass down, there's a pass out. Fiend with an open net to shoot at. Will take advantage. Have the floodgates open 34 seconds in, and we've already seen 2.
Once again, it's the willingness to go forward, and it's an unconventional play. It's a give and go there. Banger with the banger of a pass directly into the path of Fiend. Fiend unerring hits a screamer dead center.
Right now they've got Auburn a little scrambled. That's about the widest we've seen Auburn's defense all series, but they've definitely tightened up the offense for USF. Game number 1, very, very wide rotations, giving lots of space on the field. Game number 2 and 3 now, they've been much more aggressive, like you said, much more eager to come upfield and apply pressure. They're finding good results. There's a huge bump, but it's not going to be finished. Vroko did an excellent job of opening up the front of the net. It was wide open, but Auburn doesn't have the touch to take advantage of it. Will get this one downfield. They make it a free one here, and it's now 2-1. Vroko picks up the first for Auburn.
Yeah, USF kind of got punished for their triple commit there, and Fiend misses the aerial touch there, and they find the joy. 36 miles an hour on the goal there from about the half-field line. But yeah, that's what happens when you get a triple commit in there. You have an empty net, and they found joy at that. So, maybe a little bit releasing of the pressure valve here from USF might be warranted.
We'll have to see. Sean bumped up the wall, gets the recovery, and sends it to the back wall. Auburn's defense, unsurprisingly, able to take that one away. Fiend trying to get this one through, but it's a lackluster touch. And Auburn is not going to allow just anything to go through. This is a waterfall. That's dangerous. Well read by Fiend. Sean passing upfield. Fiend just manically chasing a demo there. They don't find it, and that'll allow Auburn to return this one back the other way. A quick back and forth between these two teams. Longest attack so far, USF at 19.21 seconds, and Auburn at just a mere 12, not able to find the sustained offensive pressure that USF can.
Yeah, and I think this all has to do with the defensive nature of Auburn. And once again, triple commit almost gets punched out there, but Banger with the boost to get up in the air and redirect that ball. Nice demo coming in from Physics. That might be a little bit of a power play for Auburn.
Something interesting here as Physics had a good opportunity, and that's going to be a free one. Broco doesn't turn in time. Banger punishing, and we're back to a 2-goal lead.
Well, I mean, Fiend got the good touch there, and Banger, just going past, and Broco may have been caught unawares. Maybe the call out of the interception there wasn't relayed to his teammate Broco, and Broco kind of caught looking at the daisies in left field.
I don't even remember what I was saying now. Unfortunate. Well, there's a look, and Sean will punish. This is such a different feel from what we've had earlier here in the series where it was Auburn turtling. Oh, what a touchdown by Fiend to open that up. That was beautiful.
That's an unconventional touch once again. You wouldn't expect the ball just to bounce, adoringly right in front of the face of the goal. And you see it there, and then the finish is just absolutely clinical. I mean, that's just great work. Fiend right now is getting my gold star for the day. And, we'll see if anybody can steal that from him because the touches have just been spectacular.
Well, it was trying to say, before I was so rudely interrupted by that gorgeous goal from that pass from Fiend, is this is a very different feel than we saw in games number 1 and 2. Game 1 and 2 was very heavily Auburn in a turtle defense, and USF just trying to crack the shell, trying to find a way to break through. This game has had a much more open feel, a lot more midfield play, and then a couple of quick punishes. Here's an opportunity, but Vroco can't get the ball up. Physics trying to put one on. Fiend awkwardly over the top of the net, needs to get this one past Bro Turkey, and Banger will give the assist to get that one cleared downfield.
Yeah, that's beautiful rotation defensively there from USF, and I think that,
Oh, no!
What the heck? Banger, what a beautiful touch, and Fiend going in. I think that USF has, changed the tenor of play. I think that they have decided how they're going to dictate this match to Auburn, and the Tigers have not been able to flip the script and go to the next page yet. Maybe that's what we're seeing with this open feel right now, is that they're trying to adapt on the fly, and they're getting caught unawares.
I'm blown away by how different this feel is. It's so much fun watching a lot of Rocket League when you can have one series that feels like 4 different series because every game is just a different feel. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. Bro Turkey doesn't have the flip, and they won't get there in time, but that's a threatening clear, well executed upfield by Auburn. They just need to find that finishing touch to make goals happen. But now, coming up on 60 seconds remaining, they need a lot. This has gone from climbing Kilimanjaro to climbing Everest as they try to tuck 4 in, and that's a good start. Physics to cut the lead to 3.
Yep, and I mean, they just caught him in a little bit of a lull in their defensive rotation. You see their Fiend coming out of the goal boost starred right there, and just not able for Banger to get enough of a touch on it to keep it on the back of the net. 3-goal margin, 20 seconds per goal to get them saved and back equal in this match.
Still a lot to ask. I mean, the way I liken it, that could be a dangerous touchdown. Bro Turkey doesn't have the read off the back wall. The way I liken it is the more players on the field, the harder the comeback is. Goals just don't happen as often. I mean, if this was ones, 3 goals, I mean, shoot, if you got 10 seconds on the clock, 3 goals, very doable. But this is 3s, and it's going to be a very tough battle, especially as the clock continues to tick down for Auburn to make this comeback. Physics with a double commit with Vroco in the corner. It's not what they need to see. Now they're on the defensive rotation. Physics collects, is immediately challenged. USF has blood in the water. They smell it. They're circling. They're ready to close this game out, put themselves on match point.
Oh, I mean, it's just, touches here and there. I think that USF have just really not allowed any free balls. I mean, there has always been a commitment to every single challenge here, and I think that's a big difference in this game. It's going to be a left-hand goal.
Oh, that was almost like the highlight play of the night. It's at a point where it doesn't matter to the outcome of the game, but oh my goodness, was that series of connections out of USF just so good. Physics looking to get one for the road. It does have an opportunity here, but it finds the ground first. That would have been nice to see. To have had Auburn pick up a goal at the end there would have gone a long way towards, as we get into game number 4, now match point in favor of USF, to build some momentum into that game. This is now going to be a battle of momentum, and it's all on the side of USF.
I think Auburn needs to quickly change that script paper real quick and figure out some kind of rotation that will get them in behind the midfield pressure that's being applied by Banger. Fiend playing that uber aggressive striker position. We've seen it time and time again. Sean has been, kind of the conduit out of the back if the ball doesn't happen to get in the back. Sean has been the conduit through which all things that USF have been doing so far today, very quietly, having a beautifully defensive game back there. And we need to see, can they do something to disrupt Sean? Because Sean hasn't really been under any kind of duress back in the defensive third. Banger and Fiend have been connecting with some just gorgeous Rocket League. I liken it to the Brazilian team of 72 with Pele on it. I mean, it is a beautiful game right now at certain points. And, Auburn just is getting their axles tied in half.
Yeah, it's interesting to see those totals where we saw in game number 2 double-digit save counts. We've seen double-digit shot counts at a USF all night, but 1 save from USF, 2 from Auburn. The defensive game has gone completely out the window. This is all about who can control through the midfield, who can make those transition plays. And now we see USF, after kind of a rocky start, has control of the series. Match point. Auburn needs to stay alive here to continue in this single elimination bracket.
Whoa!
And they will get away with 1, but not a second attack. Banger in that upper 90.
Man, they are playing for each other right now, Lars. I mean, look at this. Just the willingness. Sean knows that his teammate's coming from behind. Banger gets the quick turnaround there. Upper 90. Pure joy as a former goalie myself. You hate to see it, but you live to see it on the screen.
I'll love to see good Rocket League. No matter who you root for, what your preference is, good Rocket League is good Rocket League. We're seeing some of it here, especially with USF's ability to settle into those offensive rotations. They found a way to connect with each other just so effectively. And that is where team play is going to be enormous going forward. Sean able to clear that one away. Nice little double touch into the corner to prevent an immediate re-attack. Now Fiend is up, unchallenged by Auburn. They'll get a free clear downfield. Banger with another shot opportunity. That's off the backboard, and the slow shot's just not enough. Isaacs will collect a save on what was certainly a goal had it had any more power. Oh my goodness, there's a nice cut, and Banger showing up big in the defensive end.
Oh, Sean had to have had saucers for eyes there with the ball just lingering in front of the goal there, and he whiffs a little bit on it. And then you see Banger coming back, helping out defensively as well. So nice all-around game from Banger so far. This is match point, and they got the 1-0 lead. A little bit over a minute 15 off the clock. Sean looking dangerous here in the front.
A little bit over a minute 15, but the real story is how, despite this still being a little bit more of that open gameplay style, a little bit faster kind of passing and less just brute force at the front of the net into that turtle. Oh, Fiend just too high. Won't get a shot. And Sean too high as well. It was a clanger, but it finds the crossbar. Maybe someone needs to go out there with a hammer and bang that thing back straight, because that is dented in for sure. Oh my goodness. But what I was saying is, despite the fact that we're seeing less of the aggression that we saw in games 1 and 2 that just was the brute force hammering that didn't yield a lot of results for USF, they've gone to that more open play style that in game number 2 allowed this to be more of an even back and forth possession-wise for USF and Auburn. Now they've found this almost perfect hybrid of they've got this open, fast passing style, but 70% of this game so far has been spent in the offensive zone for USF. They're doing an excellent job of marrying those two strategies, and it's given them a little bit of success. They need to find a little more. 1 goal, and it's just not enough to be comfortable. It can evaporate in just a heartbeat. Here's an opportunity. The team bump, and Isaacs takes advantage.
Well, you got your wish there, and I think they started applying a little bit more pressure here, Lars, into the defensive or into their offensive third, not allowing for that quick, give and go outlet passes that we've been seeing from USF all day long. They got the bump, and the bump yielded them a goal. So physicality, physicality, physicality.
It's a great look out of Auburn, and we are back to this such even play. Banger going for the air dribble bump. If that's on target, that's a goal. You love to see them mixing in some of these kind of one strategies. There it is. Banger into that same upper 90 as goal number 1.
Fiend keeps the play alive here. And a beautiful touch off the back pass. Banger following the play nicely. That's a screamer into the upper 90. You love to see it. Sean was going to be there if there was any trash in front of the net.
2-1. USF just passed halfway through this game. Oh, Fiend, Sean, both high off the ceiling. That was them looking for a cliff. They're up by 1 goal. That's not a wide margin. And you see these two players out here looking for just the most magical of mechanical plays. That would have been absolutely insane to see, but I gotta caution, maybe not the time, guys.
Maybe a couple more goals, and a net like that will do exactly that. And I about hopped out of my seat. That happened so fast. Banger to Fiend, just a beautiful redirect. That is lovely setup from USF, and I think they're feeling their oats, Lars.
Oh, yeah, and there's Banger with the hat trick on game number 4. This is looking dire for Auburn. They need to pick up a win here to force game 5 and stay alive. But so far, USF not about to take their foot off the gas. Sean barreling downfield. Fiend with another opportunity high into the back wall. Veroko has a great read to get this one up. Doesn't get the double touch. That's okay. Fizix is there. Not a lot of boost will allow Banger to get up and push that harmlessly into the corner. Now, ooh, that's a good dunk from Bro Turkey, but I think USF, I can't tell if they're happy to just burn time in the corners or if they really want to try to tuck in more goals and really cement this victory. That's a big bump, and a demo in front of the net allows Fiend a free one to take this to 3.
Somebody clip that one. That's a beautifully understood goal right there. The demo into the just a backward kiss right there. I mean, Fizix didn't have any kind of a chance to stop that one, and man, this is starting to run away a little bit. You see Auburn trying to pour the numbers forward. That's going to leave a lot of open net opportunities for them. They're in dire straits right now.
Yeah, this is something I love to talk about, is that magic 90-second mark, where when you have the advantage going into that final 90 seconds by multiple goals like we see here, is there's another shot opportunity out of Banger, is it puts so much mental pressure on your opponent. There's not just the obvious advantage of, oh yeah, you have more points and therefore you're more likely to win. But because you have those more points, your opponent now has to be extra aggressive upfield, and they will get a free one back here. 2 goals, 41 seconds. It's doable, but they have to be so overly aggressive to try to take advantage of any opportunity they get. It leaves them vulnerable to get scored on even more.
Yep, and that's exactly what I'm pointing out to, is that, you know, if they're going to throw these double and triple commits forward, the open net is going to be a possibility for USF. So, you know, what I'm looking for right now is, you know, Auburn, get aggressive, get feisty. Fiend almost scoring off the kickoff collection there. Fizix, you got 30 seconds. What can you do?
Well, apparently not put a threatening enough shot on net. Neither can Veroko. This ball is going to clear back down the field, and that's so dangerous for Auburn. Every time this ball finds their back wall, that's easily 6-7 seconds off the clock for them to take it all the way back and all the way back down. Sean pinching off the crossbar. I think that's the nail in the coffin. Yes, it is. There's not enough time left on the clock to see this one in favor of Auburn, and our first match winner of the night will be USF, taking this in game number 4.
You know, and it was just different. It was just differently built. They got denies by inches of their number 5. But I tell you what, Banger, absolutely a star today on both sides of the ball. I think Sean has to get, you know, a lot of recognition for their defensive work. But Fiend and Banger, definitely a dangerous duo as far as threes go, and definitely looking forward to see where they land. Moving into the quarterfinal matches, they do qualify for that now. So, you know, 3-1 victory. I mean, you know, Auburn got that early goal game 1 right off the kickoff, and it may have smacked them in the mouth a little bit because, I mean, if that doesn't happen, it's a 1-1 game. We go to overtime the first match. Yeah. So we'll see. You know, if Auburn, you know, I mean, they're out of the tournament now, the qualifier now, but, you know, for USF, if they can continue this hybrid style that they kind of affected there during, you know, the end part of game 1 into game 2, and then just railroading 3 and 4, they are going to definitely be a squad that you need to be looking out for.
Yeah, it makes you question a little bit how warmed up USF was coming in. They started as a good team. That's not a shot at their performance in the first couple games. It's just to identify the difference between game 1 and games 3 and 4. It seemed like a different level of gameplay. They were so much more effective in games 3 and 4. It just seems like they started to gel a little bit better, and they found a faster, more aggressive gameplay style. They were the faster team there in game number 4. Typically, they were the slower team, Auburn managing to move a little bit faster. They started to get the speed advantage, and they started to be a little bit more effective. But that is it for Auburn. That's not it for USF. I think that is going to be it for them here tonight on this channel, but they're not out of the qualifier. Expect to see them later. Before we go to our intermission, I do want to give a big extra special thanks to the U.S. Army for sponsoring our invitationals here and making sure that we can put on this great Rocket League content for you. And if you want to see more updates about what we've got going on here at CENC, go over to twitter.com/CENC_official. That's going to be where you're going to see all the updates on all of the content that we've got for you here. That is going to be it for match number 1 tonight. Stick around. We got a lot more Rocket League. We'll be right back.
All right, so welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, your rank, everything we need to know.
All right, how you guys doing? I'm Staff Sergeant Anthony. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, but I'm currently stationed in Tampa, Florida. I'm an infantryman in the United States Army. So for all you Call of Duty players out there, you know what I'm talking about here. That's what my job completely corresponds around. The easiest way to explain the infantryman is by the actual description itself, and it's to close with and destroy the enemy by means of fire and maneuver. All right, so anything that it's a 9-man squad, sometimes a 40-man squad, but most commonly operating in 9-man squads, to mantle, to air assault, meaning coming out of helicopters, to jump on and parachute out of airplanes, tanks, Bradleys, missile launchers, machine guns. We're subject matter experts in all of it.
It does sound like playing Call of Duty to me. Obviously, as a civilian, I don't know the fun that you guys have, but how would you say this relates then to Call of Duty? It sounds like you may be a player of video games, maybe?
I would definitely say that I'm a gamer. I've been a game. I think Call of Duty was probably the reason why I joined. There's a higher calling out there, and that's just you got to serve too. We see these guys in games, but I wanted to be that guy in the game, and I still game to this day.
So it sounds like you're an avid gamer. Is there time to be a gamer when you're in the military?
That's the question that usually comes out, and it's how do you do that but you're in the Army too? I've got a regular life besides deploying overseas. I've got a regular life, so I work 9 to 5, and then I got to go home and be dad, and then after that, when the nighttime comes around, that's my time to shine, and it's Call of Duty.
Now, you said Call of Duty was something you were doing that helped you want to become infantryman. How did playing video games translate into what you're doing in the military?
Playing video games was obviously, they're kids' games, right? But there was just certain things that I seen inside the game that just looked honorable. It just looked like I want to be that person. Just like watching a movie, I saw something in the game, and I said, I want to be that person. I want to be the one defending freedom. I want to be the one that's out there putting their neck on the line. And just playing the game, there were specific missions that I play in the game. There's a specific mission on Call of Duty 4. It's called All Gillied Up. That was the turning point for me to join. The guy in the sniper suit, I was like, that's what I want to do. I have to do that. So currently right now, I'm recruiting for 2 or 3 years, and I'll go back. It's a broadening assignment so I can find the next generations of infantrymen and allow them to enlist. But in specific, my job, I've had multiple occasions and numerous occasions where it's camouflage up. All right, sit in a position, watch, observe, take notes, call for fire. There's a lot of training involved, a lot of fitness involved, and I think that it all just completely correlates around what I was watching and now what I'm able to be.
So what can you tell the student? What can you tell the students out there that can really help them? Let's start with health and wellness. What are some health and wellness tips for these gamers out there who need some extra incentive to exercise that potentially could help them with their gaming, as well as their life outside of gaming?
Health and fitness is huge. It's a triad. It's its own triangle of balance when it comes to mind, spirit, and physicalities, right? Gaming, drink water. All right, definitely stay away from all the sugary drinks while you're drinking. Get some exercise in. Sometimes when you're looking for those quick reflex muscles when you're playing, that also comes from your diet. That also comes from you working out. That also comes from your cardio. It's all a balance. If you want to play the game, you got to work out too. And it's just going to create a higher mental state that's going to allow you to be a lot more happier than just staring at a screen for too long. I'm gonna be gaming until I'm 80, I swear. But in the meantime, I'll also be working out. I'll also be doing cardio, and I like to get it in. And then gaming to me is like an award. You worked out today, so now get your gaming in. I don't have to feel guilty, and it just allows me to play comfortably.
So let's switch gears here. Let's talk about the Army and how what you're learning when it comes to leadership or strategy or communication. How do things like that in the Army translate to everyday life or into your 9 to 5 or your family?
This one's very easy. There's certain things you cannot get from the real world, and that's how to deal with stress, how to be resilient, how to chase higher goals, never to be happy with just meeting the standard. The Army has taught me to always chase what's the highest level that I can be. How can I make the best version of myself? And it does it through numerous amounts of challenges. First being, of course, physical, passing basic training, leaving home for 9 weeks and 6 days, and then leaving base for 30 days, leaving my family behind. I had to be independent. I had to mature faster. I had to make critical decisions because if nobody's making the decisions for me any longer, it's me. I'm reaping the absolute consequence of any actions that I fail to make or make. And so it's really taught me to be independent, mature, look at things from the outside versus living in the moment, looking at if I do this, this is what could happen. So there's critical thinking that's involved, but it all comes down to the testing, that you're always being tested every single day. And it's just helped me be stronger mentally, physically, and spiritually.
What are some incentives that you can tell these young men and women about the Army?
Incentives are exactly why I also wanted to be here. With that being said, education, your school's taken care of. I mean, that one's a very simple one. I know we've heard it before, but school is absolutely taken care of. It's paid through tuition assistance. It's paid through the GI Bill, the Montgomery GI Bill for all of you active duty and or somebody who's part-time Army, 1 week in a month reserves. You've got the ability to be a full-time student in school and have it paid for. Healthcare is also paid for. This one is a fun fact for you. If anybody does wear glasses in the Army and they want to receive LASIK treatment, that's actually an elective surgery the Army offers you so that you don't have to wear glasses anymore if you choose to elect that surgery. So different things like that, you're covered, vision, hearing, your whole body, bumper to bumper, it's full coverage through TRICARE. Some other fun things that I like is definitely going to be just, of course, the on-base living for anybody who's a single soldier and even married soldiers as well. There is something to do. Bowling alleys, restaurants, you guys rock climb, you guys can go out and hike. There's ranges, there's even places with just a bunch of Xboxes and PS4s set up everywhere. It's amazing that you're able to have a quality, this quality of life and still serve the United States at the same time.
Love it. Well, is there any last things you want to tell the students out there that are playing in this tournament right now or that are watching live as we speak?
Definitely. You guys play your hardest today. At the end of the day, it's about having fun, do your thing. If any of you guys are thinking about the Army, sometimes you just got to take a leap. You got to take a leap and you can still game. Write your own book. Do not be featured in somebody else's book. Write your own story, and that starts today.
Love it. Well, thank you so much, Staff Sergeant Anthony, for being here today. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys too.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to CENC for our Invitational. A lot of fun here so far tonight. I'm still Lars Newt, still bringing the action with Chef Billy. Billy, that first series, that first matchup, oh my goodness, that was a ton of fun. So, you know, I got to start it the same way every time. Thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and or dreams.
Oh boy, pacing. Physicality. I'm going to be repeating those terms over and over tonight. I think that what we saw out of USF was the fact that they just never let their foot off the gas pedal. Once they felt any kind of advantage defensively, they were able to transition that to offense very quickly, and they were able to keep the pressure down in their opponent's defensive third just it was astounding to see out of them. So hopefully the same thing we're going to see out of Appalachian State and Kennesaw State out of Georgia. A lot of dirty South action going on right now, and you love to see it because I mean this is the home of the SEC, the ACC, other conferences down here as well. But man, I mean, sporting, whether it be virtual or real, is definitely the makeup of the blood of the South. And I tell you what, we're seeing it on the screen right now, and Appalachian State and Kennesaw State. This is going to be their first team coming out here against the Appalachian State Warriors here. So we'll see who's going to come out and take advantage of the match right away. I want to see rotations. I want to see rotations be clean. I want to see them concise and decisive. I want to see the aerial battles once again, because that was another tenor that we saw from USF. They were willing to go up in the air and get after that ball time and time again. There was no such thing as a free ball, just like there's no such thing as a free lunch. There's no free balls in Rocket League here for these teams. So let's see if that tenor continues here into our next match.
Well, you touched on it very briefly that Kennesaw is the first team they're bringing. So if you're a Kennesaw fan, lucky you, you're going to get back-to-back matches. Different players, same team. Exciting to see how they do. But App State, that could be a tough matchup for these guys. It's going to be interesting going forward. I think you're right. It's all going to be who can set the tempo. I mean, you mentioned earlier, it felt like Auburn kind of got smacked in the mouth. I was a boxer in college. That's what I did through college. And it's so true. Is if you can come into the ring and you can smack your opponent in the mouth, things shift very, very quickly. Same thing here in Rocket League. If you come out and you could establish that dominance early on, you're going to put yourself in a very, very good position. Now, it'll be interesting as we get the players lined up to get on the field, who is going to be able to come out, set that pace, who is in control of this series, and who's got that ability to adapt and overcome, see if they can come out here, recognize what's happening, and then take advantage of it.
Yep, and it's all going to be how they play out of their defensive third too. Are they going to have clean touches? Are they going to be able to, to deny any kind of late series bumps going in before they try to go out? So, as the players come onto the pitch here and get ready to go, we'll see who's going to establish that tempo. We'll go ahead and see. Is it going to be Tyro from Kennesaw #1, or is it going to be Rocket for Appalachian State?
Well, App State, represented by RS Kit, Ventus, and I believe Reed. Kennesaw, Durf, Dolo, and Tyro. Quick back and forth off the bat here. There's no real advantage yet. Both teams looking for those midfield challenges. I like to see it. In my opinion, the single most important mechanic in Rocket League is the 50-50. It's not luck. If you think it's luck, then maybe you just need to spend more time practicing it, because it is a genuine skill, and you can't win games on just 50-50s, but the team that does it better has better control, has more opportunities. So in my opinion, that is the single most important individual mechanic.
It's called autopugilism. I've just come up with that term, and the ability to battle your fellow car rocket ball opponent in the air, especially beautiful 50-50 in the air there from Dolo. And I want to see them get up. That is great work out of Durfo to get back in defense.
For a very even matchup, this ball spending about equal times in each end of the field, and we're getting equal quality opportunities. A couple of good looks on the net, but no one's found a way to attack and then re-attack and attack again and said, hey, I heard you like attack, so I attacked your attack and had another attack out here. And that's the kind of offense that I like to see. It's something that USF did so well in that previous series. So far, both these teams still filling each other out. That's a great touch from Tyro to find that upper right 90, though, to open it up.
Would not be denied and actually using the opponent's card to make sure to shove it in and get it up there where you like it. And Reed just was not able to do anything about it. So how's them cakes for you, App State?
Wow, what an opener. Oh, it was a thing of beauty, and that is going to be a tough thing to come back from. Does App State have the mental fortitude to come back from that? That's a great goal, and that's going to be the difference maker between great teams and okay teams, is the teams. Tyro will get a big 50-50 dunk that opens up a free goal on the back side of it. Oh, that's a great touch. But mentality. That is the decider here.
Mechanics are all fine and good, and we've talked about this, in the previous match. Mechanics are all fine and good. Mentality will win you this. Teamwork and team play takes you a long way as well. And look at that Dolo right out the gate against the Tyro one as well.
I've had the opportunity, I've been very fortunate to talk to some pros and very high-level players on different occasions, as was a great look for the Batmobile. I just couldn't find the read off the back wall. But every time I get a chance to talk to someone at that level, and it's always in isolation. It's not like they've talked to each other prior or it's all in a series of interviews. I always ask them, what's the difference? How do you get to this level of gameplay? And the answer from all of them, every single time without fail, is it's in the mental game. And that's going to be the struggle right now for App State. Being down in the game on a couple of big goals, that's going to be a tough thing to kind of mentally reset. And now here's another opportunity.
Whoa!
The back and forth, and Tyro finds it.
Oh my God, Lars, that was beautiful. Somebody clip that one, because that is a beautifully constructed goal. Oh my Lord, we're getting treated to some exceptional works of art here, Lars. I mean, this is just the first game of the series.
Oh, that was gorgeous. That was so beautiful. That's the team play. There was nothing crazy mechanically there. I mean, obviously there's mechanical skill involved in making sure you have the accurate touches and you're where you need to be, but it wasn't like a double flip reset musty, double touch. It was just a couple of good touches, well coordinated between the team members, and it's good team play like that wins championships.
I mean, the synergy and the understanding of knowing where your player is going to be without even really having to know. Just getting that fluidity of motion and I always say the synergy and chemistry can take you a long way, and you're seeing it right now.
Oh, yeah. But a lot of that comes from just time played together, and there's no real replacement for that. You can't calm fast enough to replace that synergy, that time together. We saw it a lot in RLCSX for South America. A lot of those teams had a lot of turnover. There was a fairly high turnover rate, with the exception of the top two teams that had been playing together for about a year. And shocker, they just had so much more cohesion. They were utterly dominant in the region. Now, one of those teams, True Neutral, playing in North America, but that's something you just can't replace, as Durf will get another top shelf pick here, is synergy, like you're saying. And I'm just vindicating you at this point, Chef Billy. I don't know what to say other than you're right. It's a lot of waffle to be like, yeah, Billy's right.
Well, I had a chance to talk to Phenomenon, who plays for the second team. He is the captain, the manager for the entirety of the Kennesaw Rocket League program. And this is a team comprised of purely sophomores. The number 2 team, the B Squad, is a freshman and a senior. So, these players have been playing together. The program's been there for 5 years now, and you can see what they can do on the screen right now. And the Tyro just absolutely setting up beautifully to go. This is synergy at its best. And, as we said earlier, we'll see team number 2 coming up after this match. But right now, the number 1 team from Kennesaw is putting on a clinic, and App State, unfortunately, are the bearers of this crux.
It's not a good place to find yourself if you're App State. But with 60 seconds remaining, I don't think the comeback is a realistic expectation. Possible, yes, just highly unlikely at this point. What I would like to see out of them is 1, maybe 2 goals and hold Kennesaw to nothing. If they can hold Kennesaw to nothing in the last 60 seconds and pick up a goal or 2 themselves, that's going to be a great basis to build into game number 2 to say, hey, we can make this team bleed. We can find an advantage as Tyra looking for that ground to air dribble, looking to find an advantage themselves. We can make this team bleed. We can find an advantage, and maybe going into game number 2 with a little bit of a mental reset, get into a much better position. Unfortunately, exactly what I asked for is the opposite of what we're seeing.
It's the same play once again. I mean, that was just complete setup. And you see there Dolo holding Riskett in goal there, not allowing him to get out. I think they're in Rule 1 there, if I saw it correctly.
You did. I love the respect for the Rule 1. I mean, that's critical, right? That's the real victory here, is regardless of what the scoreline says, we respected the Rule 1, and no one can walk home with their head held in shame because they were able to come out here and pay the highest honor to Rocket League. Reed, with a great 50-50, will pick up a goal in favor of App State, and it's not a shutout in game number 1.
Just hopefully we don't get to Brazil out of Kennesaw. Let's hope we respect that as well. But we'll see what we can get out of this. But I love to see the fact that they did respect the Rule 1 there. My son plays Rocket League a lot, and he is always telling me, Dad, you have to respect the Rule 1.
Always.
So that comes through shining again.
Oh, speaking of shining, that was a great touch, but Ventus up to the task, and that will be killed in the corner by Kennesaw. That was a just dominating victory in game number 1. They were just nonstop pressure. They did such an awesome job of bringing that pressure downfield and reflected in just every stat you could look at. Only 2 saves because they never really had any pressure the other way. There was only 3 shots out of App State because they spent the entire game on the back foot. And then Kennesaw with quick caster math, 12 shots on net. They just had absolute control of that game. App State needs to step up, get a little more physicality, and get a little bit quicker challenges. We get letting Kennesaw get too many free passes, too many free touches upfield. Get in their face and punish them for it.
Well, I mean, you saw there with less than a minute to go, Reed getting the 50-50 at midfield and getting a shot on goal and getting a goal and wiping the goose egg off. So, I mean, that right there speaks to exactly what you're saying. You've got to get physical. I'm going to say it again. Physicality. If you start getting the bumps in there, you start getting the demos in there as well. That's where you're going to change the tenor of the game, because right now Kennesaw has free swimming real estate to go wherever they want, set their plays up. And, if you're not going to be on them, I mean, you're going to have to really figure out a way to get the bumps in there, get the ball out. I mean, you have to be a mechanical god if you're not going to get up there and challenge them in the 50-50s.
Yeah, man after my own heart. I love to hear it. The physicality is the move, and it makes me cry a little on the inside when I hear people like, oh, you just demo, oh, you just bump, oh, you just 50-50. Yes, because that's how you win games, because that's a winning strategy. Game number 2, 5 minutes on the clock, 6 players on the field. Can Kennesaw repeat, or does App State triumph, overcome, and force at least a game 4?
Yeah, we definitely need to see a little bit more on DJD. I don't think we commented on them at all in that first game. They may be a substitution coming in here as well. Look at this, right out the gate. It has changed. So, yes, we do have a sub coming in here. DJD is the sub coming in. And already, it feels like a different game.
Yeah, good pressure so far out of App State. Interesting that the one player to score in game number 1 is the player that is now going to sit in game number 2. But who am I to question? I don't know these players as well as they themselves, or maybe their coach does. And so far, a lot better showing out of App State, but a quick turn back the other way could be threatening in front of the net. No, DJ is able to get that one clear, but not remove the threat entirely, as Dolo, flip reset, sends this to mid. Ventus, an early challenge. I like to see that. They're getting up early. They're not allowing these things to just linger in front of their net. They're very quick to get up in the air and make a challenge.
Yeah, Risk it playing that third man role right there. Nice little touch from midfield, trying to set up his team. But Kennesaw is starting to get some rotations defensively, which they didn't really have to practice that much in the previous game. So we'll see. Risk it. Nice little carry forward.
Good pinch to mid. Tyro lurking at that near post is able to get this one clear. Now there's another great challenge. And Ventus challenging Dolo. We're starting to see, again, some of that aggression level turned up, some of that pressure forward. Ventus sends that one across the mid. Tyro, a very quick turn and great control to take that to the wall. Risk it, has that one on net, but it's touched away by Durf. A wonderful shot and a better save will keep 2 zeros on the scoreboard.
Oh my goodness, yep, this is a different game altogether, Lars, and I'm here for it! I want to see this. I want to see it get more physical. I want to see more challenges going up high above the ground there. There's a nice demo, and it leads to a goal. Dolo, Tyro combining once again.
Not shocking to see Kennesaw pick up a goal. They do such an excellent job of working as a team, and that rotation through the front of the net is just textbook. That is exactly the way you need to play that. Get the touch in the corner, rotate to the front of the net, pick up a demo, a bump, anything, and open it up for your teammate. That being said, yeah, Kennesaw scored. We kind of see that one coming. Sooner or later, they're going to pick up a goal, but they're going to hand one back, and we're back to tied.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, well, Durf a little over-eager to get to that ball. Will gift one to App State. But I'm not, where I was going with that is this is a different game. Yeah, Kennesaw scored, but I would expect to see App State score as well and keep this one pretty even. I just wasn't expecting it to be, we said there's no free lunch, but I mean, that's kind of a free lunch. Every once in a while, you do get lucky.
Yeah, I mean, I'll eat my words on that one because that was definitely a free lunch. But, I mean, beautiful work off the backboard there, and Ventus with an important aerial challenge once again.
Well, Dolo is able to take a quick short walk from the corner into the back of the net with the ball there. As that water falls down and catches App State just a little overeager to clear upfield. You got to be careful about that. With a team that can turn and be so aggressive like Kennesaw, you need to leave someone home. I know I like to see the whole team getting involved on a push upfield. Kennesaw is too deadly for that. You have to leave someone home until you know that ball is not coming back. Ventus. Ventus looking for that ground to air dribble. It was a good look, but doesn't quite have it. Now Tyro back the other way. Ventus, the pinch off the wall. Double commit out of App State. Open up an opportunity for Dolo. This one's up. That one's touched in front of the net. Tyro tucks it back. Oh, it was so close to that upper left 90. They can't quite find the cut. 2 minutes less. Less than 2 minutes? How do I words? Less than 2 minutes left on the clock. And we see Kennesaw in the lead, but only a tenuous 1 goal separating these two teams.
Woo, boy, nice little touch out there from Risket. I like the switch of the field there and setting up DJD. Super sub, question mark?
Still even. 90 seconds left. Ventus through the corner, sends this one over top. It's a little bit much. Dolo take advantage of that, but Risket is able to keep this one tucked in to the offensive zone. Ventus, another quick challenge, and that one's a rare miss out of Dolo. That's one thing Kennesaw has done very, very consistently, is they very rarely miss touch or just straight up whiff, which I've got a lot of feelings about. I will summarize as maybe that's almost a bad thing. And I can explain that if you really, really want to hear my explanation why missing is a good thing. But sub 60 seconds, 2-1, and we're looking to see maybe match point favor Kennesaw.
Yeah, I mean, playing dummy sometimes, as we call it, leaving the ball when you go for it, traditional soccer term. I mean, sometimes it can work, sometimes it can't. I feel you on the sometimes it's good to miss part. What a shot from Tyro. Tyro is the long-range specialist here as far as these shots. These waterfall shots coming in from him are absolutely disgustingly on point, and I love it.
And the accuracy so critical. That ability to strike from anywhere on the field. There's a 50-50 from GJD, but they don't get it to center as a second player is already following through. Risk it into the wall. That one's a high across the mid, and a missed touch is not going to let this one get clear. Sub 10 seconds. Final few off the clock. Now the pressure coming down for Kennesaw. Dolo looking to put the nail in the coffin. The ball is still up, but it's in the defensive end for App State. They need to keep this alive. Ventus getting bumped, is able to keep it up for just a second. That one now over the mid. Ventus clearing into the corner. Risk gets up, trying to send it downfield, but Dolo with the dunk and Tyro with the shot on net. That could be it. Ventus doesn't keep it up, and Kennesaw takes game number 2.
That was a completely different game. I mean, DJD coming in, igniting Appalachian State. And Kennesaw had all they could handle right there. I mean, they had a lot of good set plays once again, which we're expecting out of them now. But I think that the willingness to commit and move forward from Appalachian State, definitely making a statement on this game, and it's giving Kennesaw a lot more room to consider what they're trying to do out of their defensive third, because DJD and Ventus started hooking up, started getting those touches together. Man, this is a completely different series.
Yeah, that was great pressure upfield out of App State. They did such an excellent job of getting pressure down and of making this a very even matchup. More of this, please. I'm going to go real quick. This is a heat map showing every touch on the ball from both teams, and I want to point something out here. Uh-oh. Lots of play not in the center of the field. These are obviously defensive touches in front of their own nets, and we can confirm that by going to each individual team's heat map. What I'd like to see is a little bit more aggression in the center of the field. Use this space right here to attack that Kennesaw net. Your odds are so much better if you can be direct in the front of the net.
So what you're saying is punch it up the gut.
Yes.
Yes, I'm waiting for that. I mean, even if you punch it up the gut, let's say, bailing out of your defensive third, and then, finding that outless pass, trying to go with a carom off of the right or left wall, or even, going direct above and trying to get a pinch in, anything. Once again, saying the unconventional can work here. Obviously, they do get joy off the wings there, but what we really want to see is even more hyper aggression, I think that, if they're going to avoid losing this at a 3-0 sweep, they've got to change up the gameplay.
Well, speaking of change-ups, Brisket's going to sit in favor of Reed, so we'll see if this continues to be improvements with these changes, or if that last combo was the combo. Only one way to find out. There's pressure downfield. Reed picks up an early save in this game. Continues to chase it down. Doesn't get the read out of the corner, and a demo behind them will prevent the repeated attack. Tyro with the double touch opportunity. Doesn't quite have the touch. DJD scooping that one up and just keeping it awkward for Kennesaw. But Kennesaw so far has much better quality of opportunities into the front of the net. But neither team able to take advantage of it as we see a back and forth.
I tell you what, Lars, I think it's the initial touch that comes out of Kennesaw that is so clean and so decisive with what they want to do. Once again, here we go with a pitch on the back. Anybody going to get there? No! Oh.
And no shortage of good looks, no shortage of opportunities to let my heart rate just get that much higher looking over my watch. And it's just every time I look over, it's just a little bit, couple more beats per minute higher. Tyro will give the lead once again to Kennesaw. And this is comfortable territory for them. They've gotten very used to seeing bigger numbers in orange than in blue.
Whew, boy, and it's just the initial touch once again. Initial touches coming out of Kennesaw are much more quality. They have much more purpose than what you see coming from Appalachian State right now. But, there's still plenty of time for them to get back on the board here. I think that Reed has got to insert themselves back into the lineup here and make a bigger contribution to the team this time.
Shooting opportunity, well read by DJD. Now it's still in front of the net. Tyro, dangerous player, sends that flick high. Now the follow through from Dolo also finds the crossbar, and the diving push to keep that one from getting a quality follow-up shot is successful. Ventus with a great 50 onto the net. Dolo well rotated back. There's another opportunity to the front of the net. And finally some offensive pressure out of App State. But they can't maintain it as that ball will be cleared through the mid. Durf up early. Good control to the side wall with a waiting Ventus. Just trying to get pressure away from App's net. But there's the opportunity. It's going to go right in. Oh, no! That's an unfortunate shot placement. Ventus awkward backwards in the middle of the net. Nowhere to go, but is gifted a shot directly at the defender.
I'm reminded of the YouTube video of the unfortunate goalkeeper that keeps getting smacked in the head, unwittingly knowing where the ball is coming, and he just gets absolutely decimated. Well, that was Ventus right there. Appalachian State, though, they've got the moves, they've got the team play to go on here. They just need to get that final touch.
Just past halfway. One goal separating these two teams. But offensive pressure heavily in favor of Kennesaw. 75% of this game spent in the offensive end of the field. Just unrelenting. Need to see App State get clear, get upfield, and get pressure back the other way. Start boosting those shot totals and hopefully boosting the goals as well. Ventus gonna take that one out of the corner, sends it down towards the wall with Tyro is there. DJD cycling back through. A little bit of fellow caster Thunderbee likes to call corner ball. Just cycling through that corner again and again and again. It's a decent way to try to wear down your opponent, but, that's a well-placed shot from Dolo, 2-0, favor of Kennesaw.
What a setup from Tyro, though. And once again, it's the first touch on the ball. Quality right there. Right up the gut, as you were calling for. And there you see the joy coming out once again. Double commit obviously being punished there. And you've got to start throwing cars forward here if you're Appalachian State. We'll see what they can do right off the bat here. Ventus has been really trying to get up in these aerial battles and has been winning quite a considerable number of them.
Yeah, they've been doing a great job with the 50s. I love to see it, but unfortunately, they haven't been able to get the follow-up with the team. Give Appalachian State a shot here, but there's a free one. That one's going to walk all the way down the field. DJD cutting that lead in half. Sub 90, and we got a game on our hands.
Well, it's the 50-50 challenges once again. I was getting ready to say they need to get more physical with Kennesaw. They're still letting Kennesaw do too much of this setup work. They're not getting up there and putting a car on the opponent's car. I think you do that. I think this changes the tenor of the conversation real quick.
Not a lot of time And this is do or die in single elimination for App State. They need to find a couple of goals here to take the lead and force game 4. Ventus with a challenge in the midfield. Doesn't have the touch out of the corner. This one will continue to exist well away from threatening shots in front of Kennesaw's net. Ventus, another 50-50, but this one in the favor of Tyro. It's enough to prevent any kind of quick follow-up, but it doesn't take away control. And that's what they really need to do at this point, is take control away from Kennesaw. Kennesaw, very comfortable, very happy to just drive circles around the field and burn time off the clock. Dolo is up. This is an opportunity to put one down. DJD is able to get in front of that, and they prevent that 2-goal lead in favor of Kennesaw.
Yeah, 30 seconds left. They've got to throw all caution to win here. Ventus up in this air. Nice demo. Oh, my word. Let's see. This could be the moment where they can change this around. They just got to connect a few passes.
Dolo up. Slow play in front of the net. Cleared. Downfield. DJD. 10 seconds remain on the clock. Durf at the wall. This one's back towards App State's net. Tyro, good challenge in the midfield. Not a lot of time, not a lot of control. This one could be free in favor of Kennesaw. Now 0 seconds. Need to keep this ball up, and it's played down. Kennesaw in a clean sweep over App State takes this 3-0.
Oh, man. That is a very close 3-0 sweep. I mean, first game of the series, a little bit one-sided, but I tell you what, that was pretty comprehensive out of Kennesaw. I love the super sub of DJD coming in, really ignited the team to higher expectations, and just a little bit falling short there. They do lose their qualifying chance here, but we'll see them later on. But this is all about Kennesaw's team number 1, the sophomore trio, absolutely owning the day. And I cannot wait to see how they progress through this tournament. That was a total team effort. No unselfish players there on the team. They were playing for each other, and it's something beautiful to see in the sport of Rocket League.
Tyro at the offense, though, 7 shots on net, 7 of Kennesaw's 12. Just unrelentingly pressuring this App State team. App State needed to find a way to get clear of the zone. They spent 35% of that game on the back foot, just trying to get the ball clear of their half of the field. And going forward, I'd like to see them do a little bit better job of getting that ball downfield. And sometimes I am loath to recommend dump and chase, but sometimes that's what you need. If you've been on the back foot for so long, you're just getting starved out. You're not in a good position. That's when it becomes time like, hey, dump and chase, not the best strategy, but you just need room to breathe. Yeet that ball downfield, chase it down there, get yourself some boost, get yourself a little bit of a reset, get a bit of a break. Now, App State going to have a break before our next qualifier because they do have another opportunity coming up sooner or later, but they won't get one here tonight. That is it for them. Kennesaw 1 moving on. Kennesaw 2 coming up right after this.
Operating out of, or is that like, can we know that stuff? Or
I usually operate at Tampa, near the Buck Stadium.
tell me a little bit about your history and how it came to be that you are a staff sergeant now.
So yeah, a little bit of my history. So it came out, I'm originally from Puerto Rico. So I used to, go to college and, have a job in a fast food restaurant down in Puerto Rico. So I was having some issues paying for college. So I decided at the age of 23 to try it out. And I joined the U.S. Army for main purposes to go to college and pay for my college. And that was the main purpose why I started in the military, and I was able to finish my degree in computer science. And now throughout my military career, my first duty station was El Paso, Texas, and then I worked with helicopters there, communications. And then after spending there about 4 years, then I went and decided to go to Colorado Springs. So that's the place I always wanted to go, because people talk how beautiful Colorado is, which it is. And I spent there about 2 years. I spent there 2 years with combat engineers. And then after that, I decided to become a recruiter. So I dropped my what they call a volunteer package saying, hey, I want to be a recruiter. And now currently I'm in Tampa, Florida, trying to recruit personnel and teaching them about the Army and what can they do in the Army and how can they benefit with the Army. So my job and my role is, to go out there and either it could be social media, face-to-face, and teaching high school students and college students and anybody that meets the basic qualifications, the benefits of the Army and how can they benefit from what we offer for their personal goals.
Staff Sergeant Lopez, will you tell me more about what incentives are available for those high school, college, or anyone that could be potentially recruited into the Army?
One of the benefits that we harp on too much is when it comes down to tuition. Coming and being specifically as a high school senior, or if you're in college, sometimes paying for it could come expensive. But we do offer tuition. Okay, we have what we call the GI Bill or the Post 9/11, which covers up your tuition. The good part about it is if you have it and you're going to use it, because while you're inside the military, you will also get extra money for college. You can use that GI Bill for your kids or your dependents. So in my example, mine, I already paid for my degree, the Army did. So I'm saving my GI Bill for my daughter when she grows up, so her college is taken care of. Outside of course, of the GI Bill, tuition for college, we also have medical. Medical is covered for you and your family. And also you have dental, which is also covered for you and your family, your kid and your spouse. Also, that a lot of people don't know is you also get benefits if you're married. Your spouse can have her first degree paid for, up to $4,000 for her degree. It's called MyCAA. So there's benefits also for the spouse. Also, what we have, and a lot of people don't bring also the benefits you can use. We have over 150 career jobs, and you can pair up your career job with what you really want to do in real life. Think about it as a long-term goal. What do you want to do in real life? Do you want to be in IT? If you want to do an IT, you can actually explore the options in the Army and the IT and get your national certification, because the Army offers national certifications and we pay for them. All we ask for you is just take it. It's for free. Give it a shot. And once we pay for it and you pass the certification, it's completely yours. That's one of the biggest one also, national certifications.
What are some of the other careers that you have just mentioned? Something common that people really want to get into. What are some of those great careers through the Army?
Some of the career common options that we have, for example, one of them is mine. I'm IT communications. A lot of people like computers and they like the IT, working with routers, getting that security plus. Also, you'll have a lot of intel. Military intelligence people, they come in military intelligence, they get that intelligence background, and they decide to go out for a federal government. It might be the NSA, it might be the FBI. Also, what we see is agencies, military police officers. Some people like to be a policeman, and they have problems, trying to be in the Florida State Department. So they come in as MP, military police. They do their initial contracts, and they get out. They have that veteran status, and they got that experience, and they go right into the Florida State Department. So those are the commons: IT, military intelligence, also, and then we have the MPs. Those are the common denominators on what I see.
Yeah, that's great. Let's shift gears into leadership and communication. Tell me, what are some of the big ways that you can learn about leadership and communication through the Army?
That's one of the biggest ones that actually comes with our daily job, because you'll get promoted in the United States Army, and we're one of the fastest branches that get promoted. Okay, so once you start getting into leadership positions, right, that's what you do on a daily basis. You learn how to lead, because now you'll not only be assigned, you're not going to be taking care of yourself, you're going to be taking care of soldiers. And that's what we do in the military. We're called non-commissioned officers. That's our primary job. And it's our daily duties to make sure our soldiers are okay physically, mentally, financially. We also have to make sure their families are taken care of. Okay, and then we have to address those situations. So it's what we call our intangible benefits, because we do that on a daily basis. And then the good thing is that's well looked after outside the military, because anybody that has a resume that's either an officer or an enlisted non-commissioned officer, they know by default you have that leadership skills. And it's a challenge, but we have to stop being complacent, and the Army takes you out of that mentality. You always have to learn new trades, and you always can get better, and leadership will get you there, because we do it literally on a day-to-day basis.
Let's talk about what you learn in the Army and how that translates into your personal life and career.
I approach it a different way, because like I said at the start of the interview, I love IT. I always love IT, and I said, you know what? I want to be a good IT guy. I want to know about routers. I want to know about radios. So I decided to go to the IT route in the military, which has helped me a lot, because I've been able to get my certificate. I got my Security Plus, my A Plus, and then also my degree is in computer science. So that kind of translates to my life, because when I finished my military career at 20 years, I have that resume built up of IT, having my national certifications and 20 years of experience. And it's also, and it helps me a lot too when it comes down to my family, because the Army teaches you not to be complacent, and be thankful for what you got every day. I literally have a normal life from Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. After that, it's time with my family. I'm here in Florida, and I've already been to Disney a lot of times, and I'll keep going Disney. Okay. So it helps me a lot with my family time, because it helps me with time management. In the military, they teach you time management also. From this hour to this hour, you're going to do physical exercise. From this hour to this hour, you're going to eat. From this hour to this hour, you're going to do your daily jobs. And I teach that at my house, put it in my house, my daughters, my family. So from this time to this time, you're going to, do homework. From this time to this time, you're going to work. And if you have any issues, you can bring it up from this time to this time. So that's how it technically translates to my military life. Once they say, once a soldier, always a soldier.
Well, Staff Sergeant Lopez, any last words you want to give to the college students that are out there from the Southeast area, or any of those watching live right now?
Have fun in the tournament. And if you're watching me right now, all I can say is this: take care of your future. Okay. It starts now. The biggest issue is the fear of the unknown. Use the military for your benefit. If you want to do something where it could be IT, military police, or you want to be an FBI, just go to your nearest recruiting station and ask them, hey, I'm trying to be a military, I'm trying to be a policeman. I'm trying to work for the intelligence world. How can you help me achieve my long-term goal? Just ask them that. How can you help me achieve my long-term goals using the Army? And trust me, you won't regret it.
Well, Staff Sergeant Lopez, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you, sir. Thanks for your service to our country.
No, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like kung fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, but I just want it. Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Oh baby, if you ever need a helper, you should know that I'll be there day and night. Nobody else can love you better. I'm here just to treat you right. You're the reason I'm alive. You're the only pain I can endure. And when you're not here, you're my dream, but I just want it. Yeah, I just wanna. You're my dream, but I just want it. Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? But I just want it. Deep inside, I knew from the start, you my bunny, I'm your Clark. From now to eternity, I give you all my heart. We are meant to be, it's clear to see. My love is bigger than I thought. I got everything I want when I hold you with my arms. Now this don't matter, my love and my pleasure, the key to my treasure. Whatever's the weather, stay up and out with you till I die. How many times for you I'ma try? Want you to notice the one and I know this. Perfect soulmate, I wanna show it my best friend. She saved my life, my happy end in hard times. Oh baby, hug it to myself, hug it to myself, hug it to myself. I just want it. Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? I just want it. Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? See myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Can you see myself? Oh baby.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to CENC for the Southeast Invitational Virtual Qualifier presented by the U.S. Army. So make sure if you haven't already spent some time watching some of these videos in the intermission, it's a great way to get to know a little bit about what's going on here. But speaking of what's going on here, we've got a nice, exciting matchup for you. Kennesaw 2 versus UCF. UCF being a very, very high-level team, so this should be a lot of exciting fun. My name is Lars Nude. I'm still bringing the action here with Chef Billy. Billy, thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and/or dreams?
Oh boy, I hope Kennesaw make this competitive, to say the least. Learning before we came on the air that University of Central Florida, this trio is playing in the qualifiers for RLCS. So there might be a big skill gap here. However, if Kennesaw can bring the style that their number one team brought, then, we might have a match on our hands.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle. We had this whole conversation in the intermission about how playing at the pro level, it's just different. You just don't know what it's like until you've played people at that level, and it leaves you a little bit shell-shocked. So Kennesaw is going to have an uphill battle here, but like you said, if any team on here is going to be the team to do it, Kennesaw 1 showed us that Kennesaw has a lot that they are capable of. And it'll be interesting if Kennesaw 2 brings that same level of gameplay, or is this going to be a bit of a show match? Game number 1 on the field. Billy, bail me out, please.
Words again. Words. We're on the pitch here. And Kennesaw coming out the gate here. Skirt happens to be, let's see, we're looking at a couple of freshmen. Zion is going to be your senior representative for Kennesaw here. So looking to see what they bring to the team. I don't see anybody with the same names that they gave me on their Rocket League sheet. So we'll see what they bring to the table here. And, Skirt doing a little skirting around there over UCF. Open net, but there's a save coming in from Asfura.
Kennesaw 2 represented by Skirt, Alex Serta, and Phenomenon. I can't wait to screw that up in the heat of the moment as Fura, Nana Poison, and Luke on the side of UCF, and some terrifying tags on the side of UCF as it is Rivals Series Season 6 Challenger and Renegade Cup Elite. It's going to be a tough uphill battle, but so far, 60 seconds gone, and we're proving even between these two teams. Kennesaw has done a good job of being able to get attacks up and down the field and not allowing too much space for UCF to play the game they want to play.
All right, retake a look at my notes here that I spoke with Phenomenon, the captain and the manager of the entirety of the Kennesaw Rocket League squad here. There's a shot, though. Nice setup from Nano Poison, and Asfura finds absolute joy. Look at this beautiful kiss off the corner. Little bit of whiffing going on there from Kennesaw, but, minute 15 in, and it's just a 1-0 score, so we'll see if Phenomenon and squad can get back together, but Phenomenon is a senior. Alex Serta and Skirt, also known as Skirtle, they are both freshmen, so, the old and the new here for Kennesaw number 2.
I really like that play. That shot on net was is about all I have to say about that. Just an unfortunate mistouch as they don't quite get the read they were looking for to keep that one away from the front of the net. So it's a free one for Kennesaw. What I was saying is I really like that setup for the goal from UCF, however, because Nano Poison had the option to take a shot direct on net, but instead elected to play into the corner, and you could see where it left Kennesaw out of position because they got drawn out by that play to the corner. That's the kind of high-level awareness, that's the kind of high level of control you'd expect to see out of this team, and that's what's going to be the difference maker going forward.
Well, I mean, physicality coming out right out the gate from Kennesaw and starting to yield them some good results, holding their own as we approach halftime here, Lars. We were at a tie game. Skirt and Phenomenon really putting the pressure on.
Kennesaw in the lead. Great touchdown off the wall, and Nano Poison just doesn't get up in time. The waterfall just going to be relatively easy to clean up in favor of Kennesaw. Kennesaw now needs to hold this lead and ideally extend it. One goal, we've talked about it before, can evaporate so quickly. Need to see them try to take advantage of this lead that they have, and there's an opportunity touched away. off the ceiling, sends that one into the mid. A little bit of miscommunication in front of the UCF net, but Alex Serta is not able to take advantage of it. This one cleared upfield. Phenomenon sending it right back down. Sphera is up off the back wall. Does a good job of controlling that one through. And another good 50 to allow Alex Serta to dive down into the offensive end ballless and has to recycle back through. Gets a demo on their way out, and Luke trying to find an opportunity. A couple of lackluster attempts up and down the field in the last minute. And I get the sense it's just a little bit of, oh, all right, okay, all right, I see you.
What a touch. I mean, just the real quick kiss, double commit on the save attempt, and yeah, absolutely unerring with that shot there. A lot of these plays are coming through Alex Serta in the back. Phenomenon and Skirt really providing the forward offensive pressure and the physicality. That's one thing that they're really doing well here is they're getting physical with UCF, and Kennesaw is definitely not out of this series yet.
No, they've kept this very, very competitive. They have lost the advantage that they had before, though, and I think that's going to be critical going forward to take advantages and hold on to them. Skirt off the crossbar, not quite able to find the back of the net, but it's still threatening. They've managed to catch UCF out of position several times. UCF needs to be very careful about their defensive rotations. They're leaving it very wide, and Kennesaw has done a great job of trying to threaten and take advantage of that.
I'm liking the willingness to aerially commit, if that's the thing. What a angle. That's a dagger coming from Asphera.
Great pass off the back wall. Skirt and Phenomenon are a little bit of confusion about who's going to go for that, and that's what leads to that goal, that lack of communication, as Skirt pulls forward a little bit to go after that ball and then decides not to, as they were getting beat out by their teammate, and rightly so stays down, but pulling forward is what allows that ball to bounce off the back of their car and find the back of the net.
I gotta say, this is not how I was expecting this first game to go. I was expecting a whitewash, to be honest, with the caliber that we see of UCF. But I tell you what, that should be a tie goal right there. Skirt with the 50-50. Gets the goal, gets the love out of that.
Oh, this is why you get aggressive. This is why you challenge every touch. Because even if that ball doesn't go in, it absolutely decimates the offensive opportunity for UCF and allows Kennesaw to get back downfield and take a shot on the net. But not necessary in this case. That one direct to center. And it will tie this up late in game number 1. Anybody's game, 33 seconds left on the clock as Luke passes that down to Asphera, who doesn't have it on net, but Luke does, and will take that lead right back.
Oh, what a beautifully constructed goal there. That was absolutely planned. And Asphera to Luke, just absolute chef's kiss on the finish right there. That is what you love to see, the instant clapback from these highly skilled players. Alex Serta, though, I'm looking for more physicality out of him. Gotten a few impactful demos going on so far. It's really what's kept him in this match.
I will die on this hill that you don't shoot at the net if it's defended. You shoot at the back wall, you draw responses, and then you shoot at the net. An absolute textbook play out of UCF gives them the lead here late in the game. Nano Poison with an awkward touch will allow this one down into their own end, but Asphera does a great job on the back wall to take this away. That's played down, and UCF takes game number 1, but wow, what a battle to get there. That was wonderful to see. Kennesaw very threatening all the way up and down the field and did an excellent job of really bringing it to UCF. They just couldn't hold on to that tenuous lead, and UCF will edge out a victory here.
Yeah, and I mean, it's wonderful to see out of Kennesaw. I mean, this is their B squad, and I mean, they're taking UCF to task at certain points. They're getting physical. They're challenging 50-50 aerials. They're challenging 50-50 on the ball. I mean, there's no free touches here for UCF right now. It's kind of what we saw out of the first Kennesaw match. So now, how do they up the ante? I think, a little bit better possession. Maybe instead of trying to go completely off the wall sometimes, maybe giving a little crossfield, what I call a switch pass, to, divert some of the resources that are being clumped up on one side of the field. I think that if you do that, you open up the backside. You get, especially with Alex Serta being able to race along the sides. Phenomenon was up in the air quite a bit as well. If you can get behind the defense, dive down, and get a little Karen pass off the pinch, you could set up some very splendid goals. But, I mean, still, Kennesaw keeping it as close as they did, definitely a shocker. Not an unexpected score so far, but only one game in.
I think this is anybody's series. Kennesaw has proven that they can take this one to UCF. They've done an excellent job of bringing pressure downfield. And I think you hit the nail on the head. Getting the pressure upfield and getting up in the face of UCF is what allowed them to keep it close. It's just that kind of throw themselves at the ball attitude has prevented them from having the control they need to continue to pick up goals and take control away from UCF. There's so much to be happy here with Kennesaw. There's so much to be happy here with UCF. Both teams cleaning up just a little bit will make them extremely threatening as this tournament goes on.
Yep, and I think, once again, the physicality is exactly what they need to come out, running, dribble. That is some serious control from Luke, and I mean, the heart rate had to be going up high there for Kennesaw as they almost looked at it go down a goal early in the second match.
Kennesaw bringing pressure through the corner. Nano Poison awkwardly in front of their net, but they do maintain enough control to prevent Kennesaw from taking a shot. Skriddle has now represented as Skriddle, changing names here between matches. I see. Off the wall, Phenomenon doesn't have the touch in front of the net, allows Esfiro to keep this one down in the corner, but not threatening in the shooting lane. Kennesaw has done an excellent job so far in the defensive end of preventing good angles on the net. There's a big bump on Nano Poison. Phenomenon clearing this one across. Back and forth, even so far, 60 seconds gone. Anybody's game, anybody's series.
Oh, man. I tell you what, the physicality has been upped by Kennesaw here. I mean, we've seen it already time and time again. The beautiful touches. That's a great save from Phenomenon. As for just contorting the frame and just not getting the joy there at the end.
Doesn't matter. Nano Poison will find it. That touch, that wonderful defensive save from Phenomenon. It's dangerous playing it down like that, but it was well played. Unfortunately for Kennesaw, it just delays the pain as the repeated attacks, this solid offensive rotation of UCF will find success and allow them to take a 1-goal lead here in game number 2.
More physicality, Lars. More physicality. Not allowing them to get.
I'm not going to argue that one.
Yeah, more physicality. It's working. So, I mean, why not go more that? Beautiful work.
You mentioned physicality. I'm not sure this is what you were referring to, but Esfiro will go up and flip into Skriddle here, bump them out of the way. That last defender had no hope to keep that one clear. 2-0 UCF, but Kennesaw, we've seen them get offensive. We've seen them get advantages downfield. They've just spent too much time on the back foot here. We need to see them get clear and set up an offensive rotation of their own, but it's going to be tough to do when UCF is non-stop.
That is disgusting. That touch from Nano Poison, just the complete redirection of the ball against the grain of play. You absolutely love to see that. And there we go. We're seeing the RLCS qualifying team right now. They are starting to fire on all cylinders.
Nano Poison, midfield challenge, sends this one back down into Kennesaw's end. Through the corner. Phenomenon's up. All 3 players from Kennesaw on that left wall. Got to be careful with that. This one's cleared across, but well challenged by Alex Serta. You can definitely see exactly what you were talking about. It's almost as if you know what you're talking about. It's wild. So, oh wow! Oh,
from Skriddle.
Oh, the shot, the save. I thought that was dead to rights, but they'll keep this one clear. I want to continue to sing your praises here, though. Alex Serta is definitely playing that kind of third player back role, and honestly, I'd like to see them get a little more involved and get the other players a little more involved defensively. The teams that can have every player be threatening at every position, that's the team you want to be afraid to play against. And right now, Kennesaw's team is the one that does a couple of players do one thing very well and one player does another thing very well, but they don't have that flexibility to rotate through more aggressively and get everyone involved.
Well, Phenomenon is trying to get involved here in the attack and trying to set up Skriddle with the pinch off the backboard. That's a dangerous ball in front. Nice touch there from Nano Poison.
Luke, flip reset to clear. Down onto Nano Poison, then Luke will continue to pressure that challenge. Boost stealing, but the ball's all the way down in the opposite corner. Good challenge by Skriddle. Alex Serta is up, prevent the clear, gets a good 50, but now everyone's upfield from Kennesaw. Scramble into the defensive end. Luke plays this over 1, but Skriddle is up early. I like to see that they're getting very aggressive in these challenges. That's an unfortunate touch, but Nano Poison has a more unfortunate touch as they'll find the wall and not the open net.
The fourth man there for Kennesaw in this second game. And the woodwork definitely getting some dents and dings here. Looking for the touch here in front. That's a dangerous ball.
Coming up on 60 seconds left. And we have yet to see Kennesaw strike. And in fact, have yet to see them really get a good offensive rotation established. They're going to need something quick here. But there's a big demo to intercept that pass. And well read. And a second one. No one left on the field. It's them in an awkward defensive position, but they managed to reset so UCF could take advantage of it. Need to see a goal in the next 10 seconds, I fear, or this is game over.
I think this will set the tenor for the rest of the series as well there, Lars, as, maybe the mental boom starts to come through in spades, especially with Luke and company pushing forward. That's great backtracking from Serta there. Love to see that coming back.
Oh, with 20 seconds left. Just want to see some life out of Kennesaw here. They've had a couple of looks on the net, but nothing too dangerous so far in this game. And said it could set the tone for the rest of the series, and it could be a short rest of the series, given that this victory will put UCF on match point. Looking to take this one away from Kennesaw 2. But Kennesaw 2, what a way to start. They got off to such a competitive beginning here. They just didn't have the level of control necessary to take a victory from UCF, who will finish out game 2 with a double touch.
I mean, I'd love to see it. And that's a stylish way to finish off game number 2. We'll take UCF to match point here. But Kennesaw, they got a little muted there. I'm not sure if they had their rotations proper or if they were just getting, stymied off the ball with the physicality coming out from the entirety of UCF. So, really, I mean, looking at your heat map now, and
I'll bring that back. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to take it away. I'll bring it back for you.
I'm used to it now. I mean, look at the pressure. I mean, you see the pressure that's being applied, and a little bit of turtle shelling, perhaps, question mark, coming from UCF. Once they had that 2-goal margin, they knew that they didn't have to really extend as much as they needed to, because they could just hold back, dominate possession, dominate touches coming out of the backfield. And they were really patient with their play coming out of the backfield as well. They didn't just pump and dump. They went ahead and, and got a couple of controlled touches, a little bit of give and go here and there, getting some crucial bumps as well along the way. So, I think if Kennesaw ups the ante in the physicality department and really, just starts taking bumps, even on a player that's in the neutral, I think that can absolutely set the tone as well. Go out there, get some bumps on people, get some demos even off the ball, because that's going to send a message to UCF that they're not going to be able to have their way when they want to go. So I always say when you're down in the chips, fighting is not a clean game. You need to fight dirty. And sometimes you need to get these bumps and demos going in your way, in your favor, to change the mentality of your opponent.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. So I boxed in college, which is a combat sport, and there's a lot of rules associated with that. I did a little bit of let's call it practical fighting training as well, that's a very different scenario where you fight to win. You don't fight for honor. You fight to win. And that's really what Kennesaw needs right now. It doesn't matter. The only thing I'll say, though, that doesn't mean you disrespect Rule 1s. You got to continue to embrace that. If that happens, that's unfortunate. You're out of the play until someone scores. But outside of that, anything's fair game here. Get physical, get bumps, get demos. But I think the biggest thing is get control. That was something that we mentioned after the beginning of game 1, that Kennesaw didn't have the level of control they needed to take advantage of UCF. Going back the other way, UCF saw that lack of control, used their own level of control to really run away with game number 2. I want to see Kennesaw keep the pace up on the defensive end, be aggressive, be fast, be in the face of UCF. But as soon as they get that ball in under their own control, slow it down and be really methodical with how you attack upfield.
Well, I mean, it all depends on how much they're willing to invest into this. How much are they willing to invest, putting Alex Serta a little far forward. I mean, we saw some great demos in the background and at midfield. What if you throw Alex Serta into the offensive rotation and get a timely bump on the line? I mean, obviously he's very clearly gifted in the physicality portion of this game. So can he really extend that? You're talking about having the flexibility to push forward with this. Can he flex that to an offensive role instead of just purely defensive? If he can get those bumps and demos in front of the net, that's going to change UCF's mindset. They're going to have to push a little bit farther out. They're going to have to be a little bit quicker to get the ball out and distribute it to their other teammates. So that's what I want to see. I want to see Alex Serta get a little bit more offensive minded. Don't necessarily play the third man role. Really get out there and flex your muscle.
Well, perhaps one more opportunity to show that they are capable of that. And if they are, maybe we'll get another and then another. Looking for game 5. But that's not a good start. 10 seconds in, they can't get the ball clear of the shooting lane. And it will be UCF to score first.
Oh, man. You hate to see it. The teammates there bump together, and Alex Serta is probably yelling in his comms right now. Why had that all the way? But we'll see. We'll see if they can answer back here. 10 seconds goal, though. That's a bit of a dagger.
Yeah, it really comes on the back of an inability to clear the shooting lane. And I have said it so many times, casting. I don't even want to. If I had a nickel for every time I said it, I probably wouldn't be casting anymore. I'd be flying airplanes just recreationally, but or maybe just casting for fun. But you can't just stop the shot. It's not enough to get a save. You have to clear the shooting lane. Kennesaw got the couple saves off the bat there, but they didn't clear the shooting lane, and that allowed UCF to just continue to hammer away until eventually they got their way and walked away with a goal. That is a great recovery from Skriddle to get back to that one. There's an awkward pre-jump, but they proved more than capable to get back to it. Now an opportunity. Nano Poison goes a little bit too high. See this cycle back through. The whole game, 100% of this game has been spent in the offensive end. They've yet to clear. Finally, Kennesaw gets the ball downfield.
Oh, man, but I mean, it's just a little dump. And I mean, it's a release valve, and now you're looking at, a 2-on-1 opportunity here. Both of the teammates get back in defense. But now you set up a shot. The woodwork, once again, the fourth man has got the most saves so far tonight for Kennesaw. And the Knights have got to be clutching their hair right now, trying to get this double-digit or at least a double goal lead here on Kennesaw. I want to see the physicality go up just a little bit more.
Holding this within one. Luke getting this ball. Great control upfield. Has the flip reset, and it's taken away by Sfura. Oh, there's the demo. That's a little bit of misdirection, a little bit of trickery in that play, and it's a great way to open up the net, get creative, get a little bit different. Oh, no, jumping the passing lane sends this one all the way back down, but Alex Serta with the defensive stand getting in front of that one, which was surely a double touch on target. Still, pressure continues to be in favor of UCF. Love to see Kennesaw get this ball clear, and they'll get aided a little bit here by that awkward pinch off the wall, and now finally Kennesaw has an opportunity to bring pressure the other way.
Oh, Lars, I'm starting to feel a little bit of a change in the winds of the game here. It's starting to feel a little bit more frantic out of Kennesaw. I think they're realizing that they're on match point now, and they've got to up the tempo. They've started getting a little bit more aggressive. They started getting a little bit more pace with their tempo, but not the connecting passes that you need to see.
Wonderful play here out of UCF. Nano Poison carrying this one over. And I hate to be the guy that says I told you so, but look at how this attack developed. They got the ball in the slot. They put it in the shooting lane. They hit the back wall, not the net, very intentionally. You could see Nano Poison had the control to come back down on that, but instead elected to carry that ball up into the back of the wall, which allowed them to draw out those defenders. And then, on top of all of that, you could see Luke come barreling in, looking for that physical play in front of the net, as Skriddle will gift a goal to UCF, and now it puts them in a very dangerous position.
And I mean, that ball was not heavily goal bound. You could have just let it ride into the corner, but I see what he was trying to do. He's trying to just deflect it and get a change of direction there. Skriddle's got to be just absolutely heartbroken with that one. But, it's a 3-goal lead. Still 2 minutes left to go. Alex Serta there trying to insert themselves into the offense, and I don't hate it.
No, it's nice to see them come up and play a little bit forward. Now they've rotated back to play that stalwart defender that they have all series. UCF is doing such a good job of maintaining pressure, and they do so. Great pass to center as Fura will finish.
I mean, that's just great corner pressure there coming out from Nanopoison, just reading the play so well. And then just the dagger, the slice going into the back of the net, and that's just beautiful goals coming out from UCF. It's starting to run away a little bit.
Yep. This is UCF really starting to tune up, and it goes back to the first series we saw tonight where it was, I wonder how warmed up they were coming into this. They got off to a bit of a rough start, but now as things have come together, they've got the number of the team they're playing against, and they've got a flow with each other. It's a deadly combination. It's allowed them to take control of this game and of the series, really. Now, sub 90 seconds, and we need to see one more good push out of Kennesaw for them to even have a chance.
I mean, I'm wondering if Asford found a chair. Because that was a problem with them getting into the lobby. Long distance shot. Nanopoison there to clean up the trash for the net, though. Maybe they found a chair, and that's what, the level of play's gone up for.
They spent the whole first game standing hunched over a monitor, wondering if they're going to get some comfort here. Is another quick play downfield. I believe that's the nail in the coffin. It's probably going to seal this one up in favor of UCF. But if you're wondering what the delay between series was, it was one of the players was moving their entire setup and realized at the last minute they didn't even have a chair. Oh boy, we have fun out here, and I hope everyone else is having as much fun as we are, including Kennesaw, who's had a wonderful opportunity to show off some skill. There was a great look for a double touch. Unfortunately, they just happened to go up against likely one of the best teams in this tournament, and it's an unfortunate way to play in the round of 16. But as we've mentioned time and time again, this isn't going to be their last opportunity to qualify. There will be more of these invitational qualifier tournaments, and even if the same team wins every one of these tournaments, whoever wins qualifies for the LAN event. But if the person that wins, so the team that wins the invitational qualifier has already qualified, then it goes on to the next team, and so on and so forth down the line. So keep playing, keep coming out here. Unfortunately, that's going to be the end of the day here for Kennesaw 2, but that's not the end of their chances to get into this big LAN tournament for the Southeast Invitational.
I tell you what, UCF looking pretty gosh darn dominant here in games 2 and 3. I mean, the first match, or the first game of this series was absolutely back and forth. Maybe it was a moment of it being, warmed up or not, but still, you take that and you put it in your back pocket and you put it in your mental, say, hey, we took this team that's going through RLCS qualifying right now. We took them, and it was a 1-goal separation, 3 goals to 2. And you take that all day long and you build off of that. I mean, goodness gracious, that was a heck of a series. And congratulations to UCF moving on here. Kennesaw 2 out, of course, but we will see them possibly in another qualifier down the road.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch them come out here. And I want to be clear, Kennesaw 2 is a very, very good team. They just went up against a very, very, very good team. So it's an unfortunate way to start the tournament, like I mentioned earlier. But oh, well, we get to see more exciting Rocket League here. Before we do that, remember, we are presented by the U.S. Army, so we're going to play a video here in the intermission. Make sure you give that a look. Make sure you spend some time to support the people that support us, because we don't get to do this kind of thing if you don't support the people that support us. So make sure, give them the time and respect that they deserve, because they do. And also, if you want to get more updates on other events for CENC, for CENC, make sure you follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/CENC_official. Probably see that in chat at some point here. You just go ahead and click on that, click the little follow button, get all the updates for all these exciting tournament news, and maybe you can register your team for the next invitational qualifier. That is going to do it here for this series. We have another one exciting coming up right after this break. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to CENC's Southeast Invitational Virtual Qualifier. I apologize. I promised a video, and it didn't happen because we're trying to make up a little bit of time here, but stick around because it's going to happen later, so make sure you check that out. Speaking of checking things out, I'm still Lars Newt, and still joining me here is Chef Billy to bring you some more exciting Rocket League action. College of Charleston versus Furman. Billy, you know what's coming. Thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and or dreams.
Dreams, continuing the excellent play that we have had all day so far. This has been some very entertaining Rocket League. And, you know, we've seen some underdogs punch above their weight class for a game or two. The gameplay has actually been spectacular today. Nothing really wonky going on here. Physicality, just like your question, comments, concerns, dreams. I want to see more physicality. I think that when we see the physicality come out from these teams, the gameplay gets better and the goals start flowing like wine. And I start getting more excited and I start squeaking like a little 6-year-old boy. And it's okay because that's what I like to do. I like to get excited. I like to feel like I'm on the edge of my seat at all times. And Furman, College of Charleston, this is going to be it. Also, the dogs in the background. I'm absolutely loving this because I'm a huge dog fan.
Here,
I got my
I'll give you
outside. Yes, the puppies. We were talking about that in the break. But
yeah, those are 6-hour-old puppies. But that's not what we're here for. We're not here for dogs. We're here for Rocket League. So let's talk Rocket League. Let's have some action on the field. I'm ready to get rocking and rolling. I know you're ready to get rocking and rolling. We're having an excessive amount of fun out here. So let's all just serious Rocket League. You need to have stable rotations, get physical, play with your team, have good comms, all of that good kind of fun stuff, you know?
Nope, I want to see balls to the wall, flying through the air, demos in the air, pitches off the backboard. I want to see, a little bit of a frenzy. We haven't seen the frenetic pace at some points. It's been very controlled at points tonight, and I want to see a little bit more craziness come out here.
Well, just under 5 minutes on the clock, and there's a demo right off the bat. That's a good way to start things. Iridium going to put a shot on. We see College of Charleston represented by, we'll get to that in a second. Iridium off the back wall. We'll get an early goal for College of Charleston.
Set himself up, jumps with a little touch there, and then Iridium cleaning up the trash in front of the goal. And that's what you love to see. Charisma was going to be there to clean it up as well. Sorry, I got a little excited. It was the first goal, and it was chaotic, which is what I wanted.
That's exactly what we're here for. Furman, represented by Gareth, Kyoger, and David. College of Charleston, Iridium, Jubs, and Charisma. College of Charleston, obviously, our early leader here in this best of 5. Remember, this is a single elimination bracket, best of 5 for every team, and this is the round of 16. All these teams looking to move on to the quarterfinals, and it's do or die here as Kyoger will find the first on half of Furman.
What was that little touch off the wall? I mean, just completely caught the third man out of position. Oh, you hate to see those just little looper goals going in, but 1-1. Unconventional touches will get you goals. I will say that, and I will die on that hill.
As long as, at this level of play, it's not enough to just do the same old. Every once in a while, you need to throw a little bit of new in there. As Chubb's upfield, looking for demos, looking to be aggressive. That's exactly what we like to see. The big issue with demos in the qualifier for physicality that I think is necessary to be said is we have proselytized getting demos all night, getting bumps all night. Make it a part of your rotation. Don't be out chasing demos. Don't be out chasing bumps, because then that just leaves you out of position and allows your opponents to take advantage of it. Make it a part of your rotation, and you become a deadly force to be reckoned with.
Yep, and I will stand on that for as long as I live, because it's almost like you're combining hockey and soccer into this esports. Getting a good cross check will absolutely send a message to your team, and that's what you need to do with these well-timed demos and wonderful backtracking there from Gareth. I want to see it. I want to see them just be absolutely physical and not allow any kind of flow to come from the attacking team.
Well, here's the thing about being physical as well is if you are successful with it, you reach a point where you don't even need to make contact anymore. At this level of competition, you have to be so focused on the ball and your teammates and what you're trying to do with it that if you have any kind of distraction, it puts you at a disadvantage. Having an effective, established physical gameplay, it draws attention away from the things the players need to control the ball. And now instead of thinking, I'm going to make this pass out to center, like we see here, David has the read and will be able to tuck that one home. And I just got to say, I'm so happy that one flowed into what I was saying.
Yes, but I mean, it started with the demo.
Oh, yes, of course. Like I was saying, if you can be established physical, then now you're distracting the other team, and now they're thinking about that instead of thinking about those beautiful center passes and those reads over the top to open up the net. This is now 2-1 in favor of Furman. College of Charleston at the halfway point here, lagging just a little behind, but plenty of opportunity to bring this one back.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of time, just crossing halfway right now. That's a great shot on goal. Gareth getting back and saving the joy there, now moving forward as well. You were talking about this in the last series, Lars, about the third man or the defenseman coming up and giving themselves a little joy in the front. Oh, David!
A good look for Furman, but they aren't there quick enough to take advantage of it. College of Charleston will maintain the single goal separation by keeping that one out of their net. Now out of an opportunity, Jubbs on net. Gareth with a good save, touched safely to the side. This one's all the way back. Yoger's able to get there. Iridium high on the back wall. David sends this upfield. It's a little bit too much of a touch for my taste. I'd like to see them, when they get that level of space, keep it on the nose of their car, keep it close. And then worst case scenario, even if you can't flick past your defender or get a touch over top, you can at least force a 50, not allow them to clear it back into your own end for free.
213 miles separate these two colleges and or universities. Both of them in the state of South Carolina, Greenville in the northwest corner, southeast corner for Charleston. In-state rivals, and they are absolutely throwing it all out on the pitch here, Lars. That's what you love to see in this qualifier. Shot on goal, no joy. Kyogre trying to get in there.
Charisma with the contain. And then the push from Iridium to get that one towards the net. Jubbs is up. David trying to dunk it on them, but this will fall to the wayside. Jubbs send this one just, again, a little bit too much there. You have a lot of space. I'd like to see you catch that ball, slow it down a little bit, and try to really set a play up and not just send the ball downfield blindly, looking to take advantage of it on the backside of that.
Can we call it the Yeet and Pray? Can we call it the Yeet and Pray? Oh, my goodness. 30 seconds left. Still a one-goal game. Nice demo there from Jubbs. That might be the player advantage that they need.
Gareth gets met, but it's not going to go anywhere useful for really anybody. This one now cleared upfield. Charisma's up, plays that one down, and Iridium looking to take advantage of it. That's that kind of that dump and chase that we've been criticizing College of Charleston for. I shouldn't say we. I'm not going to make you sit in this same criticism boat as me. And I've been criticizing, so that if anyone's not happy with that kind of comment, then I've only got one person to be angry with. It was a very even matchup between Furman and College of Charleston. The big difference maker, though, is Furman was able to play with a little bit more control than College of Charleston. Charleston, every touch they got, put the ball out of their immediate reach. And sometimes that's fine, but when you have space, you need to keep that ball close and really set up plays.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you just have to get physical, and we saw the physicality coming out from both squads there. I think the Jubbs' demos, maybe not as impactful as they might have liked. You were talking about chasing demos, and we saw a couple of chasing demos where it wasn't as impactful as they liked and actually set up the defending team a lot better because the reset after the demo puts them back into their defensive third, and they were actually able to take part in the defense that was created by that chased demo. So timing your demos, I think that's got to be a focus for them right now. Also, a little bit of touches. I mean, taking small touches, like you said, catching the ball and thinking about where you want to go with it. That's something that has to be on the mind of College of Charleston as well. Words fail me every once in a while too. My tongue gets into a little bit of, not just like they were tied up in knots in their defensive third. I mean, they were just absolutely under a systemic barrage from Furman. So we'll see if they can figure out the answer to unlock this puzzle.
Well, 5 minutes on the clock. Game 2 is underway. 1 goal so far separating these two teams to the advantage of Furman. College of Charleston looking to tie up the series here. Now, David off the back wall has a good read, but not good enough. That one's going to go to the side. Jubbs pops that one up for Iridium, who doesn't have the shot on net. Now Charisma will take advantage of a little bit of chaos in front of the net. Give College of Charleston the lead.
Kyogre was waiting and trying to get into position and just timed it like a half second too late. They saw the play developing in front of them. Just unfortunate they couldn't get down in time, but that's a great answer from what we saw from the first game, where we saw Furman, really dictating the offensive pressure, especially out of their defensive third. Oh no, open goal shot. What a get back from Charisma. Are you kidding me?
Charisma through midfield. Sends this one on. Iridium now taking a shot on net, but there's not a lot of power behind it, so David will collect a save and pump those stats up just a little bit more. Now cleared downfield. That's off the back wall. David's early in the air, but it's Kyogre with a shot and Iridium with the stuff to send this one back. Pass to Charisma, and maybe a little confusion on the side of College of Charleston. Not sure who's going to go for that. Maybe a bit of a Canadian standoff. Go. No, you go. No, you go. They will allow this attack to return in favor of Furman.
I feel attacked. I'm Canadian, dang it, and I am sorry that I said that I'm Canadian, okay? I'm very sorry. I'm sorry.
You're leaning into the sorry as well. It's fine. I lived in Canada. I lived in Canada for 2 years, so I am familiar. And fine. When I grew up in Canada light, up in Minnesota and Wisconsin, so I'm not unfamiliar with some of what's going on here. Jubbs clearing away the front of the net, but Kyogre says, no, I'm going to send this one right back to threaten your goalposts. Gareth with a huge stuff, and then another good 50 to prevent it cleared downfield. College of Charleston figuring out their comms. They're settling in a little bit better now, and they're getting a little bit better touches upfield, but they still struggle to get the ball in the center, in front of the net, and put shots on.
Canada Light. I have to go back to that just real quick. Canada Light, that is probably the funniest description of the states there that I've ever heard. However, what's not funny, Charleston has really upped the ante onto their aggression here, Lars, and they're starting to get these rotations as well. Furman is also coming into a lot of these challenges in the corners. That is an area of concern for me, as they're not able to break out. Oh, sorry.
You were saying. That's Jubbs try to clear that one out, and Gareth is just too quick, and there's no one home on the side of College of Charleston. Got to tighten up those defensive rotations a little bit, because when that ball is still on your half, you can't afford to not have somebody defending your net. Threes, defensive rotation. You should always, always, always have someone challenge the ball. You should have someone cycling around, getting boost and getting prepared to play defense, and you should have someone back post defending the net. And if you can rotate quickly and you can very rapidly cycle through those three things, then you end up with a defense like Auburn that's absolutely stalwart, that can turtle up and defend forever and ever and ever. But if you're a little loose in that, you're going to end up with big scoreline differentials. Right now, Furman looking to take advantage, looking to put this one through, but College of Charleston doing a good job preventing the front of the net from being threatened.
Yeah, the 50-50 challenge there, aerial-wise, went a little bit of whiffy there for Gareth, able to get back into defense there. But there's a shot on goal. I love the slam shot down. When you're coming down from the aerial and you're slamming the ball down and trying to get that little bounce in, that is a great setup.
Ooh, that one threatening. What? Oh, so close. Furman almost able to take advantage of that, but it'll be College of Charleston on the attack back the other way, going to give themselves the lead at exactly the 90-second mark.
Lars, that is a triple commit punishment right there. Jubbs, right place, right time, just gets past the last man and has an open net. Easy, easy goal. Take the 1-goal lead once again.
Gareth tries to send this one over. Iridium clears middle of the field. Jubbs puts a shot on. David will get a save and lose their life for it. Gareth over top is able to handily stuff that one back down the other way. An unfortunate pinch on the wall. Is it? No, it's a pass to David. We're back to tie.
What a singular amount of work coming out of Gareth right there. I know that David gets the joy here with the cut shot into the side pocket, but still, that was purely Gareth not giving up on the play.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And that's something a lot of players, as they move up in skill levels, needs to learn sometimes the hard way, is when it's your time to be on the ball, it's your time to be on the ball. It does not matter if you don't have boost, if you don't feel confident in your positioning. Part of the rotation is that when it's your time to challenge, it's your time to challenge. What a pass. And Kyogre almost gets the dunk anyways. It's a beautiful opportunity, but just to finish my point is Gareth shows what happens when you stick with it. It was Gareth's turn to go for that ball. They were low boost, awkward position. Kyogre's up, but it's touched away. Charisma with a brilliant save.
I mean, their defense has really upped this second game. We might get some bonus Rocket League going on here, but Jub's not really content to lay back, trying to move the forward ball along the up-hand wall. David is kind of a silent assassin.
Yeah, it's been interesting seeing them kind of be quiet and then all of a sudden be a very prescient force to be dealt with. Gareth will collect this one in the corner. A bit of an awkward touch bouncing off the wall, but it does prevent the attack. Kyogre smartly not trying to keep that one up and bring it back the other way. Decides we're on defensive. We're looking at overtime. We'll just kill this one in the corner, take the overtime and reset. At least buy ourselves a little bit of room. Just played upfield. Jubs doesn't have the touch, but neither does the defender. Now Kyogre at the near post gets a second touch there. Send it back through, sends us one upfield. And there's that long touch that I've mentioned before I'm not a huge fan of. They had a little bit of space. They had an opportunity to control. Instead elected to dump that one down into the opponent's corner. And you can see how this is immediately returned the other way.
Oh, I think a switch of field right now would do Furman a world of good. That's going to be a wonderful 50-50 aerial coming out of Furman.
This one's on net. Gareth will turn that one away. A double commit out of Furman. But Charisma, again, was given space and the ball, had boost, had an opportunity to slow down and take a well-placed shot. Instead, just tries to throw one on net, finds the back wall and defenders in the process. And I hate to be a broken record, but as long as it keeps happening, I'm going to keep calling it. Oh, Jubs trying to play interference in front of the net, but we will continue to see more Rocket League between these two teams. It's so even. Oh my goodness, you got to love when this goes to overtime. We can only hope that we get all the way to Game 5 and pick up an overtime there as well.
I'm living for that. I'm here for that. Let's go. Nice little touch there, getting the ball off the back wall. You mentioned it in the previous series. Pull the resources out of the defenders and then take your shot, especially if the goal is completely stuffed as it was.
Charisma showing a nice little bit of car control over the top, attempts to put one on, but it is stopped. It's such a frustrating position to find yourself in. I don't know about you, whenever I'm playing Rocket League, I can always beat N-1 defenders. If it's ones, oh, there's nothing. That one, no touch, isn't going to find its way away, and Charisma will claim the goal on the back of Jub's effort here, the flip reset to beat out the double commit out of Furman, and we are tied in the series.
Sheesh. All right. We are on here. It's going to be a very complicated best of three now. So, I mean, that was exactly what we need to see. We need to see College of Charleston get a little bit more aggressive. We need to see a lot more ability to hold the ball rather than the long ball down, which we saw. Jubs has really shown me some great mechanical skill in carrying the ball aerially. So, a couple of check marks in boxes that I needed to see from College of Charleston. Furman, on the other hand, well, I mean, they score. They keep the pressure going on, but defensively, they looked a little shaky there in our second game of the set. So, though that leads us to the 1-1 tie. I mean, we had two goals there that happened because either a double commit or a lack of understanding of how fast the ball is coming at the net. We saw Kyogre twice there get burned in not realizing the spatial distance of the ball coming into them and really just kind of whiffed on two goals. So, yeah, that was the difference there. Kyogre needs to take a little extra espresso, maybe a couple eye drops. I'm not sure, but something to see where the ball is at and make sure they can get a frame onto that. But still, full credit to College of Charleston not giving up and pushing forward.
Yeah, the one thing I want to point out here is I saw 7 saves on the side of College of Charleston. It's great, like I've said, to be able to put up that kind of defensive effort, but I would love to see them get the ball clear and get that one away. Unfortunately, we have a DC here, so it's going to be interesting to see if we are going to reset. We will, so we're going to go ahead and reset the lobby real quick as we look to get all of the players set back in. And what do you think is going to be the difference maker going forward? So we asked for a couple of things. We saw a couple of new things out of College of Charleston. Now that we're from the best of 5 to the best of 3, both teams need 2 wins to walk away with a victory here and stay alive in our qualifier tournament. What do you think is going to be the thing that sets one team above the other?
Physicality. And it's been the hallmark that I've stood on all
I guess
night.
I should have seen that one coming, shouldn't I?
Yeah. I mean, Iridium kind of showed up bigger in that second game, getting a little bit more physical on their own side. So I think that Furman needs to up the physicality. I think comms might be an issue because you see double commits coming in from Furman, especially on the goal line. You've got to have the comms clean and clear. You've got to be decisive in what you're wanting to do. So that's what I'm looking at right now, is making sure that the comms are clear. I think the physicality has got to be good. Small touches out of your defensive third rather than the long ball that we saw a couple of times out of Furman, which is what they did not do in the first game. Mm-hmm. And then, connecting passes. I think connecting passes, aerial challenges were better from both teams. So, I mean, I give check marks to both teams on that one. The 50-50s in the air, the 50-50s on the ground were spectacular and brutal, and I loved it. So, that's what I want to see. I want to see it get a little bit more physical because physicality breeds goals. And we'll see, who's going to take advantage of it. I think that if Furman slows it down a little bit too, one more point, if they slow it down a little bit, because they were getting whipped up into a frenzy. And I know that I was calling for a frenzy, but there's times to be frenetic and there's times that you just take a breather, slow it down, a little small lob ball over the back may pull out the resources of the defending team that you can really take advantage of.
Well, we have game 3 underway for real this time. All the players on the pitch. And it's going to be early pressure from College of Charleston. I definitely continue to see some of that long ball out of College of Charleston. And I think the answer is going to be everybody just needs to kind of tighten everything up. The passes, the touches, the rotations. Everything's just got to get a little bit tighter. And I think that's going to be what's going to really separate these teams. That, or if maybe we see one team completely fall apart. But I'd much prefer to see the former and not the latter.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we'd rather see, controlled work coming out from both sides and, just the ability to hold the ball for a few seconds. Love this aerial touch from Kyogre, though.
Ball through the corner in the defensive end for College of Charleston. There's a big demo. Trying to open up the... Oh, no! That is the punish we've seen. They chased a demo out of position. It leaves them vulnerable, and it'll be Furman to score first.
And that is a slow rolling ball of death into the back of the net. Furman gets the early advantage here. We haven't seen them come out and get the early goal lead. This is game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. And this is the first time that Furman has let out the gate. So are they going to be able to be a good front-running team? The answer so far is yes.
Well, holding on. Gareth sends this one back down in Charleston's end. Tries to put a flick on, but even with the Dominus, it doesn't quite work out. David passes that one down. Kyogre has a shooting opportunity. Would have been a tough sell as it is. 2 defenders on that back wall, on that back line. And from a good range. Relatively easy touch away. Charisma to the back wall. Jubbs is already up, trying to put one in. Gareth has a great meet to get that one clear. Now trying to clear upfield.
I love the 50-50 there, though, once again, from Charleston. They don't just allow the play to move forward. That's a great moon ball up. Kyogre was trying to get on the end of that. No joy. But I love the different style of thinking there.
Great touch off the wall from Charisma, but it's back to their own end. And that's something I like to see, is teams that aren't afraid to take it back to their own corner. A lot of people misconstrue Rocket League as a game where you're just blindly pushing the ball forward towards the net, and that couldn't be further from the truth. What you really want to be doing is controlling the ball whatever that means, even if it means taking the ball back to your own end of the field, and then using that control to choose when and how you want to attack your opponent's net, because two things happen. A, they can't attack because they can't control the ball, and B, you get to be much more precise and have a lot more quality in these opportunities.
I think you just nailed tongue-tied. You just hit the nail on the head. Yeah, that's the one I'm going for.
Yeah.
Words fail me sometimes, but quality of touches, that is something that we are not seeing very much out of these two teams right now. And in the previous game, it was a little bit sloppy, if I would dare to go that far. Maybe it's just a little bit unhinged in their understanding of what their goal is to get moving forward. Now that is a great amount of corner play there coming out of Furman. Love to see it.
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, what a heartbreaker on both sides. The missed touch, the opportunity, but then no follow-up means it's a slow roller and an easy recovery for Iridium to get that one clear. Now, again, to quote Thunder B, fellow commentator, the corner ball reigning supreme right now, and I need to see the attack happen from in front of the net. Trying to attack flat on that back wall, it's relatively easy for your opponent to defend. It allows them to defend a smaller wedge, and it gives you a smaller cross-section of net to shoot at.
I played goalie in soccer in my youth played at a pretty high level. And the thing that my coach always told me was close the gap between yourself and the attacker. Break down that angle, because the closer you get, the smaller the angle is that you can get past. And we're seeing that happen a little bit more out of Charleston. They're starting to close the gap on these easy shots.
I can relate. My brother was a goalie in hockey for a long time at some pretty high level stuff. So I've heard that term time and time again. Right now, I know College of Charleston is looking to hear the sound of a ball hitting the back of the net. They just can't quite find it. This one back the other way. Furman holding on to this tenuous 1-goal lead. That's a pass down to Gareth with an opportunity. It's cut back, but not a lot of power. It's a great look, though, and I love to see that a little bit of more purpose and thought in what's happening. Kyogre electing to sit in front of the ball and try to play the physical defender. Not David off the back wall, touches that down to Charisma, tries to put a shot on. It's not quite there, but it will be punished by Jubbs. 1-1, 13 seconds to go. Do we get back-to-back overtimes?
I think we do. And I mean, that's just, oh no. The self-bump from David onto Kyogre. Kyogre could have rotated his frame there and just stuffed that one into heaven. That's a dagger of 13 seconds. Late moment heroics on the board? Question mark?
One more opportunity, I think, is going to come out of this push downfield. Iridium pops that up over center. Jubbs is up, met, I believe, by Gareth. Now we'll find the ground, and we get back-to-back overtimes between these two very evenly matched teams.
Woo, bonus Rocket League once again. Early
That's
shot!
not long-lived.
Iridium! Let's go!
Oh, what a nice play. Jubbs to Iridium. Iridium with authority on net. 69 miles an hour. That's a heater if I've ever seen one. And that will be College of Charleston taking the lead in the series. A great turn for them and a hard-fought battle. They did an excellent job of coming out here and meeting Furman. I'm still not seeing quite the level of control I want to see out of these teams, but they're definitely getting better about it. There's so much more methodical. There's so much more thought. It's a lot more methodical in how they're attacking the ball and attacking their opponent's net. And that's exactly what we need to see out of these teams.
Oh man, that's a dagger, by the way, coming from Iridium here. 6 seconds into overtime. I mean, the set play. Yeah, the ball fell to where they wanted to, but you still got to put the ball in the back of the net, and that was absolutely well constructed from the touches coming out of them. Was absolutely spectacular there in the short-lived overtime. And now, they're on match point, having gone down 0-1. Now they're looking at match point. What kind of response can we see out of Furman? Do they have a sub? Do they have somebody that can come in and maybe, jazz up the lineup? Let's see. We'll find out when we go back into game. As I take a look at my Discord between myself and the Furman captain, I really want to see, do they have anything? David, he's saying, this is their first ever serious tournament. just to put that out there for everybody. This is their first serious tournament. They're just looking to have fun. They're in the round of 16, trying to get into qualifiers. College of Charleston, though, not going away slowly. And, this is the chance to go to our first Game 5 of the night.
And will not go quietly into the night. Iridium off the back wall, but it's well met and sent back down into the corner. Furman finds themselves on the defensive early here in game number 4. Kyogre to the wall, doesn't have the touch. Iridium will challenge. Charisma contains. Opportunity on the net, but they elect to go wide. I know I've mentioned going to the back wall a lot, but that was an open opportunity. You need to just absolutely rip one on the net in that scenario. And it may go back the way. Charisma, a good catch to take this one away from the front of the net.
Yeah, that's really that's a hopeful goal, hopeful shot on goal. It's just a release valve there from David, the captain of this Furman squad. These guys have been playing together for about a year now. 2 seniors, and Kyogre is a lone junior on this team. Nice touch from Garrett. Broke the axles there and really tried to push into this corner.
Big send from Kyogre. This one's downfield. Iridium with another shooting opportunity. Alex to slow it down. It's a wonderful play as it overcommits on defense, and Iridium will just slowly drive this one home. What awareness.
Oh, man, yep. Skirt, squeak. There you go. Into the back of the net. The irradiated goal from Iridium. Absolutely top-notch. Well played.
David looking to even this one up. Throws one on net. Jubs is home and gets 50'd by a teammate. Still get this one clear. Kyogre off the wall. Gareth looking to do a little bit of boost stealing. Puts themselves in an awkward position. David doesn't have it. Charisma's got the dunk, and it's 2-0 College of Charleston.
And that was a singular beautiful work out of Charisma there. Had the same, but following up the play, you absolutely love to see the commitment to that. That's a heartbreaker. 2-0 to Charleston. They're sitting on match point about 3.5 minutes from getting to the quarterfinals.
Always follow your shots, because that's what happens when you do. You have this opportunity to not just score, but to score on a dunk, and let's be real, it's different when it happens on a dunk. Kyogre meets that at the wall, tries to play it back through the corner. David midfield contain. A little bit of a bump to prevent Kyogre from turning back. Oh no, Iridium! Oh, it's a tough read. Admittedly, that's a very difficult read, but man, there's no one there, and just demos left and right. I think in the last 30 seconds, we've seen 6 demos.
I'm okay with this. Because it's starting to open up the play, and that is going to play into Furman's favor. If they can just get a little bit of possession, control, anything come out from them. Right now, that's a slow roller in the back, and Gareth getting back up. That's a great commit there.
Uh-oh. This one lurking in front. David plays it down. Jubs is in just the right spot to take it away. Kyogre with a shot opportunity. Iridium does a good job of doing exactly what you mentioned in the interim about cutting that angle and getting big in the face of the attacker. And David off the wall has an opportunity to slow this one down and control, and they did a decent job keeping that one close, but it's well challenged, and Jubs will get one off the wall. 3-0 College of Charleston.
Oh boy, and we're past the halfway mark right now. Minute 45. We're looking at what, about 35 seconds a goal here. Especially in threes, you're always going to have that extra defensive presence in the back line. You can actually turtle up at this point. I would not hate seeing a little bit of defensive backtracking here for Charleston. Just keep the ball in front of you. Make the saves when you need to. Make the demos when you need to. Goal will do the world of good to Furman right now.
I'm going to play contrarian here. I say, hey, whatever College of Charleston's doing is working. You might as well keep applying pressure for 2 reasons. One, you know what they say, the best defense is a good offense. They can't score if they can't clear their own half. And 2, you continue to pick up goals like you have through this game. All you've done is widen this gap. You have enough buffer to the 3-goal lead to be able to you have enough buffer that you are able to take advantage of opportunities as they come up. And if things start to go wrong, then fall back and turtle up.
I mean, you can do that. I just think, keeping the ball in front of you guarantees that you win. And especially with how good the rotations have started to be for College of Charleston here. I think Furman, they're just getting a little bit smacked around here as far as, the skill gap. And, maybe a late second goal can help them out. But no, once again, Iridium has been my MVP of this match, saving it off of goals line there. Now, dump game into the corner. You just cycle this around for another 20 seconds. You get your dub.
Final 14 seconds on the clock, possibly of this series. College of Charleston looking to seal this one up. And as we tick through the final countdown, that is it. College of Charleston in commanding fashion after an absolute slugfest. Games 2 and 3 going to overtime. Finally, College of Charleston finds their groove. They're going to take a commanding lead in game number 4 and take the series. What is that? 3 unanswered? It was Furman won the first one, but then College of Charleston has just been on a roll.
Oof. I mean, you hate that. That's got to be a dagger into the hearts of Furman and their fans, because they were very vocal in chat. And I tell you what, 2 overtime losses, and the first one was a pretty extended overtime. The second one was 6 seconds. I mean, that was a wonderful win off the kickoff, and then just a dagger from Iridium. Iridium gets my gold star for the day for College of Charleston. So full credit to College of Charleston. Furman going to have another chance later on to get themselves qualified, but man, Furman was not a bad team. Just College of Charleston upped the ante as far as the aggression and the physicality and the control. And they really took it to them in a reverse fashion, 3-1 winners.
Yeah, that's Furman. Unfortunately, that is the end of the road in this qualifier, but there will be more qualifiers in the future. So make sure you stick around and see if maybe Furman comes back with a vengeance to make a new run. It's going to be College of Charleston moving on to the quarterfinals. And speaking of moving on, we have more Rocket League coming up. I'm so excited now. UCF 2 versus Clemson. UCF getting to scrim against that UCF 1 team. It's going to bring a high level of play, but Clemson, it's a name that we are all very familiar with. We'll be back right after this.
Are you happy now? Are you happy now?
Cracky.
And you make me feel like a rebel, but I will not give you a reason to destroy me more and more again and again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to CENC's Southeast Invitational Virtual Qualifier. It's our final matchup of the evening. We've got UCF 2 versus Clemson. We have a little bit of this before we threw to the break. And now that we're back from the break, I'm still Lars Newt. I'm still joined by Chef Billy. Chef Billy, thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, hopes, and or dreams?
Physical play, beautiful goals, clean rotations, and a barn burner. I want to get to a game 5 tonight, so hopefully this will be the one that sends us there. However, UCF won, putting on a pretty darn good performance, so chair issues aside. But now we get a chance to take a look at the Clemson squad. We all know about them. Let's see how they go up against the junior squad from the University of Central Florida. This could be one of those matches that just goes on forever, or it could be a one-way amount of traffic. So we'll see what the teams are going to do and what kind of warm-ups they got, because we've seen teams come in cold tonight and then turn on a switch and flip the script. And I don't hate it, but still, I want to see it come right out the gate. Let's get into it.
Yeah, well, as we get the players on the teams on the field, UCF represented by Bitts, Lyrics, and Reeves, Clemson, K, Mitch, and Sean K. So you got 2 Ks on the field, 5 minutes on the clock. Game number 1, UCF 2 versus Reeves. Not Reeves. Oh my goodness, Clemson.
It's okay. And at least they get the orange for their school colors. So nice bit of work there from our wonderful producer Colton in the background, giving us the wonderful images and just putting on a fantastic show all day. Right out the gate, though, Clemson started to push a little bit forward here and see what they can get out of this first foray into their offensive third.
Oh man, the car control we're seeing right now is beautiful. This is gonna be hard fought no matter what way it goes. A couple of demos already coming out. Woo! And there's Sean K to take advantage of it. Puts one on, that double touch out of the corner, and then Lyrics just doesn't have the clear they need. Sean K in the Batmobile. Ooh, team bump as well. I didn't see that the first time around.
Yep, I think this is going to be a very physical match, so I'm going to get my wishes there. Immediate checkbox in my box of marks that needs to get done. So let's see what Clemson can do here again. Reeves might be a player we need to be focusing in on. They've been very prominent here in the first 40 seconds of our match.
This one's all the way back downfield, and it's going to be a free one. Clemson University picking up number 2. Mitch from goal line to goal line, and Sean K elects not to try to steal it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just great work and great recognition of the triple commit coming out of UCF there. So, 2-0 lead here, less than a minute off the clock, and UCF needs to answer back in a hurry. Otherwise, this is going to snowball out of control.
Lyrics clearing upfield. K. We'll send that one across. Sean K trying to pass it back up. And gets punished for it as they don't get it clear the shooting lane, and Bits will dive, taking advantage.
I absolutely read that as BTS, and I was about to go Dynamite, but that was not correct. It's Bits, and Bits absolutely finds the joy there. So 1-goal margin here. And now UCF on the board. Maybe the early game jitters out the gate. Bits with a nice little kickoff win there. Doesn't get any joy off of the pursuit. So now, building out of their defensive third, Clemson have to be on the back foot because now, with a goal on the board, that's got to wake up UCF.
Now a legitimate threat to their supremacy they had established early is this ball. Oh, no. Doesn't get clear. Reeves gets another one here. We're tied 90 seconds in.
Cycling the ball, never giving up on the play, and that is just absolutely a dagger from Case. The own goal there. You hate to see it, but, UCF, very happy to see that. And now we're tied with a very complicated 0-0. Here, a minute and a half off the clock. We've already got 4 goals into this set, so this is exactly what we wanted to see coming out the gate.
Some exciting action. A little bit of a track meet back and forth, 2-2. Sean K looking to clear, but Lyrics will take advantage first. Mitch through the corner. Reeves back down to the net. K waiting on that near post. Interesting position to find themselves, but they're able to make use of it all the same. Bits to Reeves. Reeves with a pre-jump, but Sean K recognizes what's happening. Is able to get up there and take that one away. UCF is starting to establish a bit of an offensive rotation and a stranglehold at the midfield. Exciting to see they can continue to maintain this pressure and march up to take advantage.
Oh, man, the demo's not going to hurt at all. But, K, with a little bit of a back pass to his teammate Sean K, now they're going to be able to build out of their defensive third, question mark. No, that's going to be a long ball and a shot on goal from Bits. Long-range aerial attempt.
From the parking lot. It's coming back the other way. Reeves to the wall. Pinches that one back out, but doesn't have the boost to really effectively follow. Sean K looking to get a little bit of that control play we've been asking for all night. They do a good job of settling it down, but Bits does a better job of reading where they're going with it and punishing. This one's going for the crossbar. Mitch will take advantage of that one and put it in the corner.
If you follow up your play, you score a goal. Clap, clap. There you go. Mitch doesn't get the first joy. Gets the joy on the second one. There you go. 2-3, Clemson back in the lead.
Lyrics and Mitch on the kickoff. Sean K collects, slows this one down, sends it up over the top, looking to put that one on. Bits doesn't have a touch, but it doesn't matter because it will find the crossbar instead. K into the wall. Reeves easily turns, plays this one upfield, throws it towards the net. It's just wide. No, it's not. It's going to post in 3-3.
What a touch from Reeves there. It gets, a little bit of touch there. He follows it in. Mitch, not enough gumption there to be able to throw that in there. And, tied once again, under 2 minutes. We are getting the barn burner, I think, that we were requesting all night. Somebody's finally following the script that we set out earlier.
We send all of these players, we take the time to type up a nice PDF and let them all know what's supposed to happen, and then they come out here and they play real Rocket League and actually put extra effort in and don't just follow the script. And it's good to see the sportsmanship. Lyrics into the corner, gets the touch down. Mitch bring this one back to that corner ball play, but it's starting to wear down Clemson. A very wide rotation on the side of UCF will allow Clemson to get a little bit of breathing room here, and I think maybe a bit of mistake. You have that option to kind of strangle out the defense, and yet wide rotations allow them to reset, collect boosts, and set themselves back up. Reeves will pick up a hat trick on a nice little pass from Lyrics.
Lyrics did some work in the corner there, and this is just a aimless ball there coming out of Sean K, and they get absolutely punished for that. You've got to have some decisiveness when you're clearing the ball. Either go high or go low. Don't go mid, especially when you've got a trailing player coming at you.
Oof, that's a quick rip to the net. Reeves tries to get this one out. It'll be Bits over the top to Mitch. Sean K with an opportunity, sends that one on.
Oh!
Double commit out of Bits and Lyrics. Now an opportunity for Clemson to tie. Sean K taking another shot, looking for that double touch, has the read, but doesn't quite get it low enough. Now we're cleared back the other way. Reeves to the back wall. Tries to put one on. Lyrics will. That one's just inside. It could not have been placed better. Barely out of reach of the defender.
Oh my goodness, they were there. I mean, Mitch was there, or I'm sorry, Sean K was there and just could not get out in time. Oh my word, half a pixel more, and that's a save and a butte and moving back the other way, but it's 2-goal lead, 35 seconds. This is Barn Burner Express. Let's see what they can get done here.
Okay, tries to put another one on. Mitch will, cuts that lead back down to 1, 27 to go. And wow, it's still just, you can't tell who's going to win this one. It's just too close, even with the advantage to UCF.
I mean, Clemson, UCF, defensively, a little bit shaky, a little bit holy. Offensively, definitely putting the daggers where they need to be. Sean K going for a little bit of a tricky face-off win, and they get absolutely burned. Now they got to build 20 seconds left there, Lars. I don't know who's going to take this one.
Mitch into the corner, sends that one out in front. Bits tries to clear. Sean K is in. K puts a shot on, but Reeves has a great read. Pre-jumps that to get it clear. One more send downfield. Sean K turns this back. Bits pops this one up high over the top. K plays it down. A bit of a mistake when they need to keep the ball alive. UCF 2 takes game number 1.
Well, they are definitely following in their footsteps of the senior squad. You know, that was pretty close. 1-goal margin and a nail biter to the end. And I mean, these two teams, woo! Okay, we're going to get the barn burner tonight. It's all going to be about who can score first. And looking at your heat graph there. Love it. Take us through it.
Okay, so here's something we mentioned earlier, that typically the team that turtles gets beat. Clemson. Oh my goodness. Look, it's all just south of the line here. They are not getting effectively upfield. Meanwhile, I mean, just the whole field. You love to see it. They're even getting good pressure all the way down to just kind of the top of the box here. And this is really prime shooting real estate from right in here. You love to see it. You love to see that pressure coming downfield. If UCF can keep this up and not allow themselves to be too vulnerable in the backside, this is a walk-home victory for them. But Clemson has done a good job of bringing pressure upfield, taking advantage of any kind of gaps UCF leaves. So it's not, UCF has to tighten that up. Clemson continue to adapt, continue to look for those gaps in the coverage, and continue to be probing without allowing yourselves to get beat over the backside.
Counterpunching can work. So, we'll see what they can bring out here and, see if they can really, break apart this forward-pressing Knights offense coming out of Central Florida. That's an early shot and an early little dummy there. Oh, my word.
Familiar territory for UCF, seeing the ball in their opponent's net. Lyrics, that's the physicality where you don't even have to touch. All you have to do is threaten, and it becomes that much harder to defend the net.
Love to see it. I absolutely love to see it. That is a dummy play of the highest caliber, and it's just beautiful to see. Nice little work there from Lyrics, trying to move forward, getting it physical, and the defensive or the offensive third, Reeves trying to keep the play alive, though. And what I would need to see from Reeves and Bits is a little bit more connection between each other.
Ooh! You wanted connections. It's not Reeves and Bits. It's Lyrics and Bits. They will find a way to push this one home, but with Reeves getting the demo to clear the net. Oh, I love to see it. Get physical. Get in front of it. Oh, it's wonderful.
I have been screaming it for all the evening, and now we're getting exactly what we want. Oh, that's a dangerous kickoff.
Okay, tries to clear across. It's right into the waiting arms of Reeves. And that's another look on net. UCF is feeling themselves now. They're getting very aggressive. Sean K takes advantage and will throw that one home as that ball is lost. It's not even much. It was just the slightest bit behind Lyrics, and it's too much. Clemson will score.
That's a worm burner and a butte. That's what I love. I love to see those low worm burning shots that you just don't know which way you can go. And yeah, it was an empty net. Triple commit came through from UCF, but still, being able to bury it with that precision, that's a lovely goal.
Sean K gets beat out by Lyrics. Now this one coming back the other way. Bitts trying to challenge. Reeves contains at the midfield. Okay, good control over top. Tries to throw that one down. Reeves looking to clear away. It's threatening, but Mitch can't get it past Reeves. And now Bitts has an opportunity to control, sends this up. Mitch will challenge. And we're getting a little bit of back and forth here. Neither team able to really establish a real solid threat forward, as good midfield challenges prevent any real progress.
It is the hallmark of any good team is the midfield press. Oh my word, a shot on goal. Mitch with a hell of a save there.
Bitts slows down. Good control play, but well read by K. Lyrics up to Bitts, who's looking to redirect upfield. But they're not up in time. This one's deep, deep, deep back the other way. It's a relatively easy save for Reeves, but it does put UCF in an awkward position defensively. K off the wall. Mitch with a read. That one's going to find the back corner. Tied up 2 minutes in.
Oh, man, they're starting to get their rotations down, Lars. They're starting to exert a lot more forward pressure instead of the counter-attacking style. They're starting to really push the pressure forward. They're starting to push the attack, and it's starting to yield them some beautiful results.
Okay, a little bit too slow play there, but Sean K is able to get a big save to prevent UCF from reclaiming that lead. Mitch into the corner, looking to clear his Bitts. K has the flip reset, but no use for it. Mitch at a dangerous spot alone, but they'll pick up a savior medal. I thought they were dead to rights. But they stand tall at that goal line and continue to hammer through this slug pass. Just past halfway in game number 2. UCF leads, but just barely in this series.
I mean, I have to squeal at that save. I mean, that was the beautiful save, the beautiful game. What a shot! And the angle from Lyrics. Are you kidding me?
This is such a gorgeous read. Off the wall, into the back wall, and follows through. Just a perfect setup. And oh, what a touch. Oh, my goodness. And then the dragon goal explosion. Oh, it's just so good.
Almost 80 miles an hour on that goal, too. There's no saving that unless you were in the right place at the right time. You pre-jump predictably to figure out where the hell to go on that one, because that was just a screamer.
You just got to guess and hope you're right. And unfortunately, the probability on that is... And it's always interesting to see this scenario when